child want me. By the way, I pray no small child ever comes in wearing a pink small dress around this boy because uh, you did a number, buddy. You did a number. Kappa kappa, butcha kappa, hubba. Look at the camera and says, "Hello, Ruff. Aye, you're a good dog. I'm Ray Romano. All right, doggy. Oh man, oh boy, I called him over. Ah, yeah, yeah. Who's a good boy? I live in Queens. I'm Ray Romano. Sit. 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 Ah, that's a boy. He already knows. Sit and don't shit on the rug. Hey, we're over 50 subs already on his channel, so I could go live on his channel during the workday. Isn't that right, buddy? Boop. 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 Dogs love it when you boop them. Boop. Hey, what is up, Murky? Sorry that you can't stay around. Look at this guy. Have you seen a happier dog today on my channel? Ah, I wasn't fast enough. That beautiful, intelligent dog. He tried to eat his own butthole today, so intelligent, but he's definitely funny. Isn't that right, buddy? Hey, Cody, what is going on? We're just waiting for more people to come in here. We got enough. We'll start looking at shiz. All right, buddy. Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down. Oh, you're a good boy. All right, so here's what you guys saw on the thumbnail. I've been sitting on this for 2 weeks. You know how hard it is for me to keep my mouth shut about stuff? That is the new Tisas Comped PX9 Gen 3. And then, of course, on the day my comped one shows up, what happens to show up also? My Island Comped Daria top. I'm going to swap over the optic. So I have a special edition Daria DY9 with the gold barrel. But Darius saw fit to send me their Island Comp barrel, which is really easy. There you go. So you can see it's ported, not really comp, so it's an Island barrel. So that's got ports. That has a comp. That usually has ports, but it has a threaded barrel on it. Who likes fishies? Hell, I like fishies, and I like fishies, do you? And Polly Judge, public defender. A public defender. The Tisas, yes, that is a flat face, single action only, striker fire trigger that is not as crisp as a Canic, but it is way better than just about all the rest of the standard triggers that are out there. I'm trying to plug in my charger and then we'll get going here on the live. Nice, you're on time. Nice. The Island Comp made a video on it and liked it a lot. Nice, dude. Too bad I got no idea what he's talking about. Ah, gotcha. So 2024, 2025, this is the going into this year, this is the year of the comped barreled guns. And of course the Daria and the one I'm here to talk about are buried behind my head. Hold on a second. Why is that? Hold on. I obviously can't touch the gun, so I'm going to touch the camera. Also, in accordance with Megan's Law, I can't, never mind. There we go. Yay! Ray Romano. That's why I'm always at an angle where you're looking down on me. Explain the difference between a striker fire and a hammer fire gun for everybody else. Alright, so, really quick, Dodge City Kid. A striker fired gun, like the Tisas PX9, has a internal system that uses a mechanism that pulls the striker rearward. When the slide activates, it locks the striker to the rear. And the sear disconnector, it's usually a cruciform, one piece. And when you pull the trigger, it drops it, and the spring shoots the striker forward. In a hammer-fired gun like a 1911, the firing pin sits inside the spring, but that spring is actually to stop it from going forward. So a striker-fired when when a hammer fired hits the back of the firing pin, it drives it forward out of the rear of the chamber, and the spring that's around it forces it backwards. So basically, it's almost opposite reaction. Is there more guns on the wall than last live, or am I crazy? You're not crazy. My buddy was borrowing my Fusion firearms because he was deciding whether or not he was going to buy one. The Tisas was on embargo, so I couldn't put that up on the wall. I've had it for 2 weeks, but I couldn't put it up there because I couldn't show it on live. It just launched today, and the Public Defender just came in last week. Keeman, here's what I'm going to say to you in regards to that, to putting down 20% on your Staccato XC. As long as you like the gun, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter if you're like me and you pay $2,000 for a gun and then you mutilate it because you're pissy with the company's finish, or if you buy that Staccato and you treat it like it's the second coming of Christ. Your decision to purchase the firearm is all that matters. Do you want the XC? Great. Now you got an XC. Personally, I wouldn't have paid the money for an XC because I don't believe Staccatos are worth the money at all, but that's a personal opinion. And yes, I'm 100% aware I will never own a Staccato, or I will never get a free Staccato. I've owned the Staccato. I had the C2 last year, and I sold it. Currently finishing up a video on the PX9 Carry. I don't know if you tried that one yet, but I found it surprisingly good. I did a video on the PX9 Carry 2 years ago when it first came out. Tisas 1911, tell me about the trigger. It's a standard 1911 trigger. Depending on which variant of the gun you get, you may get one with a polymer shoe or get one with a metal shoe. It works absolutely fine. They're usually in the high 3 pounds, mid 4 pounds for most of their triggers, so they're pretty solid. Dodge, no, the guns on the wall are not for sale. The guns on the wall are my guns that I'm not selling. Those are my 2025 acquisitions. You got a P38 that turns into a robot. Nice, dude. You ever open your store? It's been open since February. Reason I say it was a mistake because you can just get a good quality for half the price as a Staccato. Oh, 100% Buster. In fact, I just sent back the paperwork to Bursa. I'm getting their 2011, and I think the Tisas and the Gerson 2011s at $1,000 are very solid. Do you have a Draco? No, thank you. I have taste. Everyone make sure to hit the like button. Yes, please. Everybody come in. You also have a carry version of the Tisas Polymer series that results from 25 meters, our very own sum. So my experience with the PX9 line stops with the PX9 carry that I did a video on a couple of years ago. So the best part about guns, though, goats, is guns are evergreen. You haven't done the video on the gun yet, so that makes it new to your channel. And there's always somebody looking for some version of some gun on YouTube. We aren't react channels. We aren't prank channels. We're not let's play channels. Guns are an evergreen content. I'm doing videos on, like I'm going to do a video on that Public Defender because I just got it. Public Defender's been out for what, 9 years, 7 years, something like that. So it's just, that's, you know, it is what it is. It's evergreen content, as I call it. Use a Glock 19X. That's fair. That Tisas is the same size as a 19X. Mouse is driving home right now. Awesome. Here in Israel, I use the Glock we use the Glock 19X. Personal guns I see, yes. So I took down the guns that were for sale. This is my 2025 acquisition wall. So the guns on the wall are guns that I received either from manufacturers for review and keep, or in the case of the Rock Island, that's got to go back. I'm not paying the money for it. I don't have the money, number one, but number two, even if I did, I'm not paying $1,000 for it. You got a job as a mechanic. Congratulations, brother. You have a DWX also. That's my daily carry, and I do love the XC. I got the Staccato XC for $3,700. A guy in my local shop brought it in, returned it 2 days later because it wasn't right for his division. I mean, $3,700, you are saving a little bit, but again, it's just too much in my opinion. The gun isn't worth it. The gun just is not worth. It's all day long. It's a $2,500 gun. It is nowhere near a $4,000 gun. You can buy a used double agent for about $4,500, a Nighthawk Customs double agent, and that's a hand-fit gun built by one gunsmith. Whereas Staccato is factory assembled. They have a production line, they run down the line, almost everybody in the company touches that gun. So it does not have the bona fides to be a $4,000 plus gun. You thought they did? No, they're just not popular, man. Polymer revolver, but they still make it. Guess Taurus doesn't want to talk to me. I don't know. I talked to their marketing guy at the American Outdoor Show, and once after the show, and after that, haven't heard from him. Taurus, I haven't tried to reach out to them. I really should because I play with a lot of their guns. What do you recommend for daily carry in California? You got to find what works for you in California, dude. I don't live there. I learned in CCW class, average number of clients a public defender has in LA is 75. That sounds low. I would expect it to be more, honestly. Incognito says, I don't use any of those weapons, just a sonic boom, slap in the ear, and resolve. Oh, you mean like Indian moms with the slipper? No. What about Ermox? The Ermox guns that I own are the Fusion Firearm partner guns. So you have the Fusion Firearms XF Pro and the Fusion Firearms XP Pro. Those are both cut, and like the machining is done by Ermox, and then the guns are sent here for final assembly or reassembly. They take them apart and finish them. So yeah, Turkey is fine, man. I got a bunch of Turkish guns. Aaron, what's up, man? Been a long time since I've seen your name. Ever thought about starting a series on the 1911? I may make a playlist because I think I've looked at like 30 or 40 of them over the years. You sent the Prodigy to Skip's Guns to have 2K worth of work done to it. What's your opinion on Skip's Guns? Pass. Can you cover the camera? No. I wanted to review one of their lesser known models that's actually different, the TS9. I did a video on that. If you want to do one, now that the TS9 is no longer in production, get a Kimber R7 Mako. They both use the Bubitz system. The Kimber R7 Mako is a much better creation of the Bubitz design. The Taurus TS9 that I had for my sample had the Bubitz integrated into the trigger guard safety, and it actually wasn't even functional on the Taurus variant. It's a lot of cases for one lawyer to have at once. It is, but public defenders, man, they get overloaded because there's that many criminals, unfortunately. You've been to Skip's place, haven't seen any of his work in person. I don't know him well enough to give like a real opinion on the guy. I've watched some of his videos. He does a lot of things to his guns that aren't my taste. The Plague is a little big in my opinion, and I can only go by off of what I've seen him do and what I've read about. So I'm just, until I personally put my hands on one of his guns, I really can't, I'm not qualified to even talk about his stuff. Am I still shadow banned? Based on the fact there's only 50 people in here, yes. I was looking at firearm classes and all the ones near me. You need a minimum of 18 to do it, which I thought was a little crazy, but might be normal. Andy, a lot of them are requiring that you be a minimum age because the minimum age to buy a firearm in the United States is 18, and the minimum age to conceal carry in, I think, 41 or 42 states is 21. So, in fact, a lot of CCW classes you can't sign up for unless you're 21. Triscuits, what did you do, brother? What's your favorite gun from the ones in the back? Still probably my Dan Wesson DWX, even though I bitch a lot about the finish, but now that I've changed the finish, it's kind of what I want out of it. You reviewed the Caracol pistol. How big is the Kimber Mako? I thought it was a pretty small gun. Is there a Glock 19 size model? Yeah, the R7 Mako is a little bit smaller than the Glock 19 size. It's more of a Glock 26 size, but it uses the exact same lockup is all I know. Dodge, what about polymer lawyers on AR-15s? I wouldn't use one. You put those away in a safe? No, I have a secured gun room. Car PM9 at the local Scumbags for $100 with the case and 4 mags. You know, that's not a bad financial decision. Sadly, we can be made to look like criminals if they feel we're a target. I'm a good man, but seems my young days they can make us look bad if they want. In regards to what, Joshua? Why buy a polymer lower when aluminum one lowers are cheap? Yeah. Is that an AK 47 in the corner? Yes. I've never hunted ducks, so I don't know. King, what's up, dude? Think you meant the minimum number of people in the class is 18. Oh, yeah, I guess so. Highly educated, what's up? Am I feeling better? No, I'm still suffering from massive stress and anxiety, and my dog is now comfortable in my house, so he doesn't like when I talk this much nonstop, so he went into my bedroom and he's sleeping on my bed. Sadly, cops can say he carries guns good, he carries guns, he's bad. I don't get that. I'm sorry, Joshua. I'm a little bit loose in following you, brother. I got an idea on what I think you're trying to say, but I need more explanation. You got one. You've had it for 6 years. Okay. Design of the AR lower. You're having exceptionally good ownership with your polymer lower. I don't like them. I don't trust them, and your ability to trust them with expensive upgrades goes down. What's the MSRP on the new Tisas? $522. Comes with 2 mags, the magwell, extended mag release. It's RMR cut right out of the box, and it's basically a Glock 19X because it's got the full-size grip with the shorter barrel, and it uses 226 mags. Glad you like it right now. If it ever breaks, I would replace it with an aluminum. Went to South Carolina to surprise my mom for her birthday a few days ago, and before going to her house, I went to Palmetto State Armory. It's nice inside, but I didn't get anything. No problem. You're not a fan of poly lowers? No, it limits your creativity, honestly. And why would I? And please take this for me giving my opinion on this. My rifle costs $4,000, and I have a PSA Virginia lower on it, a $35 lower. I don't understand why you would go with a poly lower. In fact, the poly lower doesn't really save you any weight. They're basically the same weight. So the only reason to do a poly lower is because you got it for free. I grew up poor and have half good fam and have stupid. Depends on what they think. I was hurt and technically crippled. Depends on what they choose to think. Gotcha. Okay, thank you for clarifying, Joshua. Best 9mm 1911 to get into sub 1000. Ooh, that's a hard question, bro. There's lots of them. Bull Armory makes one at $995. The Springfield Garrison. You can usually find the emissaries on sale now, especially the original two-tones. You can probably get, there are Kimbers out there that are under $1,000. So, oh my bad, you were talking about rifles. Yeah, I'll change the subject. I'm in a small town. They can't judge per character or what they assume it to be. That's all. Never mind. No, the main thing you gotta prepare for, Joshua. Let's say that you think you might get into trouble down the line because somebody might be trying to piss you off or get at you or revenge on you. Just find a good lawyer that's not from that town and make sure you maintain a relationship with them. I am not related to Aesop Rock. I've been called that before. I've also been called Lyoto Makeda and a few other guys. Is the new PX9 trigger the same with a metal trigger, or has it been cleaned up? Any of the Tisas duty trigger was surprisingly good for a budget gun. It's second, well, not really second. So you got Walther PDP, P99, Canic, and I would put that trigger above the CZ P10 line. The reset's not as crisp as a CZ, but it's a lot nicer feeling pull, and it's at 3 pounds 6 ounces. What's up, Alchemist? I see there being less flex with the metal trigger material wise, but I wonder if they did any internal work. I don't have, and it's been so long since I messed with the carry that I don't really remember that trigger. I can tell you that it feels really nice in comparison to the Canics I have in the store, and especially versus the Glocks. What's your take on HK? If they would ever bring their prices down to reasonable levels, In your opinion, who is the best firearm YouTuber or most knowledgeable? Best depends on what you're looking for. I'll be completely forward. I don't watch anybody anymore. It could also just be because I'm in a depressive state and I'm under so much stress right now that I'm just not watching anything, really. I've been watching the same goddamn playlist for Car Dealer Simulator over and over. Um, Everybody's changing. Yes, I said guns are an evergreen content that anybody can keep making, but the problem is all the channels that we used to watch that have exploded and become 2, 3, 4 million sub channels, they're all expanded into full businesses on YouTube now. So they're not the same people they used to be. Did you get the patch? Yep, it's up in my front on my counter. My bear buddy became a cop. He's a good dude. It's just human nature. I get along shooting with the cops, and I can be just as nice around the meek, is all. No worries, dude. Lost a lot of friends. Sorry, brother. Got any plans for? No, I have no plans to willingly bring in a 43X. If you need a 43X, you can contact me at the store during normal hours. I appreciate that you want to get it from me, but again, I have no plans on carrying one in the store. There are two. Well, technically, no. The Daria Arms it's not a true clone because it's a Gen 3 lower copy with a Gen 4, Gen 5 top on it. I love my little burst of 380. Only problem is it's picky on ammo. I've seen that. The HK VP9 is an overpriced Glock with the worst platform trigger and more expensive magazine. As an owner of a VP9 with the match grade weight, I think the trigger is better than the Glock personally, but I do agree on almost everything else. Although I got mine with 5 mags, so I didn't have to spend anything, and I paid $400 in total. Be the gun tuber you'd want to watch. Honestly, when I watch my own videos, it puts me to sleep. I notice a lot of YouTubers changing up. Yep, exactly. Dude, when I become a million sub channel, dude, I'm ditching all of you motherfuckers. I'll do a live stream once in a blue moon, and I'm only going to have subscribers on. I'm kidding. What's the revolver behind you? That is a Taurus Public Defender. It's the polymer frame 410. Thoughts on FN? Too expensive for what the quality is. What's the peanut butter behind you? That is the Rite RXP22. I got it on recommendation from Guns and Goats. As an FFL, it's an interesting gun. If you want a hammer fire gun with a 13.5 pound double action trigger, it's a way to go. But it's not what I would do. Yeah, it destroyed my snap caps because you got to run snap caps to dry fire it. Yeah, my sunset is hella pretty tonight. Nice. Match grade, yes, with the stock VP9 and what they charge on it. Oh, yeah, I wouldn't pay $700 for it. Yes, Nathan, it is the DY9, but it's an upgraded version from the factory, and now it has the island top on it. That's why it's got the other barrel in front of it. So that DY9 was not a stock one. It was a special edition with lightning cuts in the frame in the slide already, and a gold barrel on it, a nitrided barrel. And I swapped it out because Daria sent me their island kit. So those snap caps were messed up. Yeah. I have not shot the Rite. I would assume it would have to fire with as hard as it's hitting the rim. I was thinking about getting one, but I don't know if they're trash or not. I mean, the build quality seems there. The finish is better than my $2,000 DWX. How good is Rock Island at the 1911? They build more. They build more 1911s than anybody else on the market. Marcelo, you see decent deals for the poly. It's going to kick more than a steel frame one, but as long as you're not recoil sensitive, yeah. Oh, Nathan, the DY9 that I have shoots amazingly well. I put 200 rounds through it, never had a failure to feed. The only thing I'll tell you is mine only came with one mag, and with the magwell it has, you have to use 17 round mags or take the magwell off. I saw how hard that was hitting your snap caps. You know it's not going to have an issue crushing the frames. I noticed the DA is kind of heavy, but judging my finger felt like an SR22 Ruger DA. Maybe my sample is a little bit screwy, but I actually have difficulty pulling it. I know I have nerve damage, so I can't really claim everything, but on my trigger scale, it was 13 pounds, 5 ounces. In your opinion, if you use them, which is better, Holosun 407 or 507? They have the same body. The difference is the 407 is single dot only. The 507 is dot circle, so it's an upgrade. Also, the 507 is available in the X2 variant with the ACSS reticle. So they're basically very similar. They're both co-witness capable, and they're just, you want to save money, go with the 407, but you're going to be stuck with a 3 MOA dot or a 6 MOA dot. I can't remember how big that one is. The dot in the 507, I think, is a 2 MOA and a 60 MOA ring. Yeah, typing in all caps doesn't get your question answered. Have you shot the Judge with 410 or 45 long Colt? I've shot the regular Taurus Judge with it. That gun I have not taken to the range yet. I've got some Hornady defense rounds I'm going to the range with on Tuesday. Well, technically tomorrow. You also have a DY9, 1100 rounds in one sitting, and it ran great. Yeah, he did. Go check out Guns and Goats' channel. He's got a lot of the guns that I do right now because a lot of companies put the same guns on sale. And he actually got the Island kit before I did, so go check out his video on the DY9. He got a launcher. Yes, he does. Do I like Magwell grips on AR-15s? They look cool. I Magwell hold, so yeah, but it's not necessary for me. With my nerve damage, it's easier for me to Magwell hold the gun as opposed to C-clamping because I don't have the physical capabilities to hold it for long. Robert, hello from Canada. Hey, Cucky. Canadian, sorry. Canuck. Sorry. You're cucked on guns, Canuck. Get it? Just ordered a Gray Rete RXP. Do you have any more tips or info about it? Not much. I just kind of put it together. I threw a red dot on it. It's got a Siley RMR optic on it right now. The plate isn't quite right for the RMR platform, so keep that in mind. Do you recommend the Canik TTI Combat? Not for the money. Almost blew up my eardrums because I wasn't wearing earbuds. Oops. You can't hit Jack with the pistol. Stop shooting at Jack. Best sub $1,200 1911. What's your pick? Springfield Operator. I've had 3 of them. So that would be my number 1 choice. Next would be a Fusion Firearms. I like government full-size 5-inch guns, so I go with the Fusion Firearms. Their base system is about $1,100, and then I would probably look at something. I trust Kimber, and I know how to work on them, so it doesn't bother me. So like Kimber is what I would go with. So I think for being a $200 22, we shouldn't judge them too harshly for something like a heavier DA trigger. We should be more worried about it being reliable. Just pontificating. Oh, absolutely. I'm sure when I'm on the range with it, shooting it, I will have a slightly different opinion on it. It's just what it's doing is it's trying to bring a older style 22 to market and not compete with Taurus. Because if you put the Rete RXP up against a Taurus TX22, it's going to lose. Period. But if you put it up against guns like the GSG Firefly, I bet it'll kick the GSG's ass, and they still make the GSG Firefly, and that gun is almost $100 more. So in its lane, hammer-fire double-action 22 with suppressor capability and red dot capabilities for $200, that is probably going to be the best gun that I can recommend for that. Striker-fired Taurus or SIG P322 is where I would go. Yeah, PSA, they have them right now for $229 or $209 right now, and then I can get them through my distributors for a lot less than that. Nate, what's up? You're a smart fella. Instead of Googling what can I do for perforated eardrum, and how are you doing, by the way? I don't have an answer for your perforated eardrum. I do apologize. I don't even know if that will heal on its own. I've never had one happen. I heard it takes a long time to heal from it, but I don't know how to heal it. Have I ever messed with the super safeties, or are you not interested in it? I'm not really interested in it. I've got a binary in my AR-15, and I only have that in there because somebody gave me a Franklin Army binary back in 2020, and it was a $500 trigger back then. They gave it to me for free. The girl on YouTube I saw today is a machinist making her own silencers, and they are awesome. She compared it with popular others. That's pretty cool. Just parked at home, going to settle and be back. All right, Mouse. The TX22 is $300 on PSA. The retail is under 200. It's honestly as cheap as something like a Rough Rider. Oh, absolutely. Like I said, Goats, at its price point for a end user, consumer, regular person, 100%. That's the way to go. As an FFL, I can get the Taurus TX22 right now for $180 because they're all on sale. I can get a Toro 22, but it's a compact, and I don't like the compact, but I can get a Toro 22 TX22 because I think they're redesigning it, so they're blowing out stock right now. Which Taurus for CCW? G2C, G3C, and shoot it. I want a nice little threaded 22 rifle that I can suppress on a mag-fed bolt action. Interesting. What about Browning Buckmark for 22? They're not worth what they charge. If your gun has a 10-round capacity or less in 2025, it's hard to recommend. That's another thing about the Rete. It's one of the few that actually goes over 10 rounds. The ones I got, and Goats was talking about it, you'll get 10, 13, or 18 rounders. I got two 13 rounders with mine. What is happening? Not much, dude. Dodge City Kid, wear ear protection always. Agreed. I've had ear problems my whole life, and the 2 times I've had perforated eardrums, I've had to have surgery to fix it. Shit, that sucks, Andy. I need to try a TX22. Honestly, it's one of the 22 pistols I don't have. Look around. I think they're on sale. I thought they were actually on sale for $249 on PSA, but double check, they might have taken them off sale. I love my guns, but it sure is nice being in Europe where you don't have to watch your back. That's a very not American thing to say, DB. And I'm not saying it as an insult. The thing is, you're only getting your information from popular media and social media, so you're not actually seeing the typical gun owner here. 99.99% of all gun owners are extremely competent and law-abiding. But because that doesn't make news cycles, you don't see a headline on CNN, breaking news, man with gun goes to CVS and everybody has a good time. No, all you hear about is the bullshit reclassification of a mass shooting, which for those of you that don't know, the reason why everything is a mass shooting now is because they changed the classification. Lawmakers changed the classification to try to increase gun control acts by changing the definition of a mass shooting. It now only requires 4 people to be injured. They don't even have to be killed. 4 people have to be injured in a shooting for it to be a mass event. So, yeah, unfortunately, the information that you're receiving across the pond is tainted. I've been living here my whole life, and I've never had to respawn. You cannot handle firearms. Yep, I was surprised the Mosin didn't sell yet. Mosin's gone. I just forgot to take it off the internet. I traded it. Wait, did I trade it? Mosin. Oh yeah, Charlie. If Charlie comes in, Charlie bought the Mosin from me. Check out the Keystone Chipmunk bolt pistol. It's usually under 200. Yep. How many hands do you have? 184,000 sets. So 368,000 hands. I'm assuming. Some of you may not have hands. I apologize. Tyrone, what's going on? Preach, brother. Thank you, Dripping. How hard is it to create an explosive launcher that doesn't recoil? There are recoilless rifles and recoilless launchers out there. It's very difficult. If you Google it, you will see how hard it is, because you're basically fighting the laws of physics, because for every action there's an equal and opposite reaction, and you're trying to stop it. What's up, Joe? Sorry, it's been a long time. MC, what's up, dude? How you doing these days? What's your advice on somebody getting into guns? Don't listen to people, even me, or a 3 million sub channel. You need to do what you like for yourself when it comes to guns. Now, we can tell you if guns have glaring faults and stuff like that, but you may want to buy the gun anyway. So trust your own instincts when it comes to firearms, and just have your fun. How many guns can you fire at one time? Are we trying to prove a point? How many forks do you have in your house? How many plates do you have in your house? How many pillows are on your bed? How many pair of underwear do you own? I understand if that's where you're going, you're trying to make a point, but your point is not valid. You're just trying to anthropomorphize guns into something they're not. Guns are simple ballistic tools. They have no purpose other than to fire a bullet. It's the person holding the gun that determines whether that function is malice or benign. So I get where you're coming from, but if that's the argument you're trying to make, if you're trying to make a snarky statement, if you're trying to instigate an argument or instigate or intimate or imply that a firearm, you only need one, I'm not going to play that game. You think you got enough gun, sons? Nope. You're in Colorado. My first recommendation to you, Josh, is move out of Colorado. I'm here for Army. I'm from Texas and African American. Not so good places. Too many shootings and close calls for me when I was younger. Just nice knowing it's pulling up shooting. Sorry, man. That sucks that you lived in an area like that. But again, that is the extreme minority of places, man. I once left the keys in my Scat Pack Challenger for a week. A $52,000 car. I left the key in it for a week in my driveway and nobody stole it. So my neighborhood is fine. How much can you bench press? About 12 pounds. I don't have upper body strength. I just look big. One pair of underwear, but I keep them clean. Dude, you can wear a pair of underwear a lot of time. Inside, outside, forwards, and backwards. Thoughts on the SIG MCX Rattler? I've only held one. I've never shot one. I want to. No such thing as too many guns. Pretty much. It depends on why you're buying the guns. If you're buying a gun to CCW, yeah, you probably could have too many guns for CCW. But actually, I'm going to go back on that. No, you can't. No, there's no way to have too many guns. When I was younger, I had a collection of almost 4,000 comic books. Couldn't read them all at the same time. Reject modernity, embrace tradition, sword fighting needs to come back. Oh, dude, bring back pugilism, dude. Fisticuffs for arguments, guns for sport. That's what I say. What do I think of the Tisas 1911? I've come back around, and joined the train to encourage people to check out Tisas. Because I am one of the few individuals on the planet that caught what happened with my gun. And I made a video about it, and despite what all the comments said, I was actually right. But yeah, I was one of 1,000 people that were even capable of spotting what happened, and I'm the only one that made a video on it. So their new ones are fine. You need a license for all those guns. Actually, I don't need a license at all. I live in the state of Virginia. We're not required to register these firearms. We're not required to do anything special. The only accessory that I have, and it's an accessory, so it's bullshit, that I have to have paper for is my suppressor. My Osprey 9, which is on the Fusion Firearms XF Pro up here, requires a tax stamp and a document that shows that I'm legally allowed to own it. So here, let me show it to you guys. Also, we're 37 minutes into the live stream. Have you gone to Tisas and SDS yet to check out their PX9 duty comp? But yes, so that suppressor requires me to register with the U.S. government that I own it, but that also limits their access to my possessions. If they ever came to search my house, the only thing they could legally ask me for to see, wow, that's English, is the suppressor. Joe, you catching that as legendary? What? My catching it is legendary if you think about it. Yeah, so also legendary and serendipitous that I'm one of the only guys that has a set process for smoothing out my 1911s that requires me to do the one thing that would reveal what they did. Yeah, I get it, Dodge. Thank you. I may check them out. I may not. I don't go and watch people on recommendations. It's nothing against you. It's just it's not my bag. You've got one of them, haven't shot in a while. Yep. Does the ATF still want registration after the bill? As I understand it, the way the bill is going, yes, they are going to, as I understand it, they will eliminate the $200 tax stamp, but you will still be required to do a Form 4 on them. Wow, why did you move like that? There you go. Sorry. My dog is not dealing with me talking tonight. Yeah, the vast majority of states you don't have to. And the states that require you to have a license for each firearms, leave. I just want to let you know I'm getting paid this week for lemonade stand. We make $1,000 a year this year with donating to the military, so I'll send you some money. Candace, no. Donate it to the military. If you have like a wounded soldier fund, something like that, do that in your name and mine if you want. If you want to throw something there, that's cool. But donations should definitely, especially if it's money that like a wounded vet or an animal shelter or somebody can use. Do that for me, would you, Candace, please? Weren't they trying to pass a bill saying you don't need any license? They're trying to. It was supposed to be in Trump's big beautiful bill and they took it out. You have ammo for all those guns. Yes, I do. I bought one of the TS 1911 double stack that has a barrel bushing. Is the one you have bull barrel better? It's a personal preference for the most part. That's another reason I don't watch a lot of YouTubers. Bull barrel, bushing barrel, for 95% of us, we won't be able to tell the difference. I'm a competent shooter. I can hit targets at 50 yards pretty easily with a handgun, which, believe it or not, is harder than people make it look to be. But every gun I own, down to even my goddamn Glocks, will outshoot me. So the bushing barrel versus the bull barrel, mine has the bull barrel. Honestly, for convenience sakes, I'd actually rather have the bushing barrel, because it makes it easier to take it down to clean it. Grayson, what is up, kid? Best experience with guns. The first time I shot one. Have you had any extraction issues with your GeForce Chronicle? Haven't shot it yet. It's going to the range tomorrow. I expect to have some, though. It feels so clunky and crunchy inside that it's probably going to jam up on me and do everything. But I do have a complete spring kit. I also have rear main spring, hammer kit. I've got a ton of parts that are going in it after I do the initial shooting. So I spent $65 on 2 separate kits. And we will see what happens. If I can take a $280 gun, put another $65 into it, plus my labor, and see how nice I can make it. Dropping off the gun bag and mail in the AM. Are you going to be there? Not super early, Pops. I'm taking the dog to the park at 7. From the UK, and I've never seen an actual bullet in real life. Would it be possible if you can show me one? Sure, I think there's one here on the table. So this is a... Yeah, I thought that felt a little off. Here we go. We'll use one of these. This is a 45 ACP round. A cartridge is made up of 4 parts. You have the bullet, which is here. You have the casing, which is this part. You have a primer, because this is what's called a centerfire cartridge, the little dot in the back. When the striker or the firing pin hits it, it sets it off. And internally, you have gunpowder. So there are 4 parts to a cartridge. Thoughts on force training? I really don't have an opinion on it because I've never really trained in it. I had to tune the extractor on my Chronicle. It was way too loose. Plus, it did not like the factory Mech-Gar mags. Oh, I'm dumping the Mech-Gar mags. Screw that shit. GI style 7-rounders? No, thank you. I've got Wilson Combats, man. Hey, what's up? New to the channel. Elko Ant tapping in. What is going on, Elko Ant? Hope you're having a great day. We are donating to Vietnam Legends of American Chapter 365. Amazing, dude. Just keep doing that, Candace. Have you seen the videos of people making the PSA dagger into a 40? I have not, but I guess it wouldn't be too hard. I mean, a 22 or a 27 is a 26, and a 23 3 is a 19. So, what's your thoughts on a 9mm revolver? I mean, most of them you have to run moon clips because, rimless versus rimmed, but they're fun. Top 3 guns I've shot. Nighthawk Customs 1911, Barrett 50 cal, and Smith & Wesson 500, but I only shot that twice. Was there a Glock AR? In Europe, they were developing one. There is not a U.S. market AR with the Glock name on it. I want to go to this gun show. I'm in Arizona right now, and you just buy guns, no FFL transfer needed. They have some good deals, but can I fly with it home? I plan on doing an FFL transfer once home. Why are you doing it? What state do you live in, Josh? Because you should not be required to if you don't live in a registration state. There's no reason to do one if you bought it from... well, you're buying it from a gun show that allows private sales, so... best handgun to stop a bear, minimum 10 mil. You're getting the Smith & Wesson 986 Performance Center. It's probably an amazing shooter. I have one question before I go. Are you able to show us the biggest bullet you have? Yeah, give me 1 second. Rocky, you doing okay? Rock. Come here, boy. Boy, thank you. Thank you for coming in and answering. All right. Good boy. Come here. Come here, buddy. The people want to see you anyways. Come here. Tommy with the $5 donation. Thank you, brother. Come here, buddy. Hup. Come here. There you go. For those of you that have never met him, this is Rocky. I still got my Colt 1911 made in 1921. My name used to be the Wi-Fi. I don't know if you remember me. How have you been? And my Colt went up in value yet? No, I don't think so, brother. Performance Center gun is always a good choice. Yep. Colorado, you're required to transfer any firearm. Got it. Yeah, that sucks. Best gun in your world, in your opinion. 1911 profile. Buster, I did not see your comment. Did you not see me get up to walk out of the room? I apologize. Probably late to the party, but what did they just release? The PX9 Comped Duty Gen 3. So, Candace, if you're still here, these are two of the biggest rounds I currently have in my possession. This is a Barrett 416 round. This is made specifically for Barrett's precision rifle. And this is a 50 BMG Browning machine gun round. It is a silver tip. This is designed originally for the Browning machine gun, but is also used in many sporting rifles of 50 caliber. And I happen to have a couple. I don't know where my A-pit round is, but I do have a couple of armor-piercing incendiary tracer rounds. I don't know what a scope switch is. Can I bring it home to transfer it to my name? How does flying with guns work? You will need a airline TSA approved case. Pelican makes a lot of them. Basically, you have to have a ledge around it, and it needs to be lockable with TSA approved locks. You can go on the TSA website; they have a list. Which What's up, Rocky? Hey, do you think that aluminum 1911s hold up to? You've got the custom lightweight Ghost. I have. Well, not anymore. I had the Arctic lightweight. I sold it back to a buddy. And yes, aluminum frames can hold up just fine. Aluminum frame can take the pressure. The only thing that I would recommend if you have an older aluminum frame gun is check the spot where the slide lock, slide release goes through the frame. If it is still a circle cut through the rail, I would actually have that milled out to make that completely open. Because the major thing that fails on the aluminum frame 1911s is that point is weak, so it can flex just a little bit. You don't need a lot of deflection, but it can deflect just a little bit from the cycling of the gun, and when it does that, it will bind up. So that would be the only thing I would recommend. Because before you got up to lead, I was just kidding, though. You read the comments before mine and the one after. Oh, I'm sorry, Buster. Honestly, I just must have missed it. Is the slide to frame fit super loose on your Chronicle? Mine is awful on my 9mm. Oh, yeah. Here's the deal, Daniel. That gun is trash. For a $290, it was $279 on the 4th of July sale. For a $279 1911 to have ambidextrous controls, front and rear slide serrations, an adjustable trigger, fiber optic front and adjustable rear, and shipped with two $20 mags. It ships with two mags that are worth $40, so that gun is basically a $240 piece. It's not going to be great, but I'm going to use it as the basis to build something. Also, the rear of the frame does not line up with the rear of the slide. I have to do some machining on it. So yeah, the frame to slide fit is terrible. Even the cuts don't even feel like they're right, but they work. G-Force obviously did not send me that gun, so I will be doing a review and being as critical as I want. Now, if it runs, I'm going to let you know that too, though. Most expensive gun I have. Right now, it would be my STI Grandmaster. It's not up on the wall. It will be going back up on the wall probably on Wednesday. It is a roughly $5,000 1911 or 2011. Man, boy gets up to get bullet and crowd drops off. Get back in here, fuckers. Not you guys that are still here. You ever just want to tap on the back of it with a hammer? Just go, pa-ping, pa-ping. Yeah, those are the biggest rounds I currently own. Any of those guns for sale? Not the ones behind me. Just picked up a Kel-Tec Sub 2K Gen 3 as a little cheap backpack gun, and for what it is, I'm satisfied. Gonna mount the Holosun 5019 and call it a day. Xavier, absolutely, dude. That's a good choice. Mine's actually lined up and blended perfectly. The springs were just garbage. I had to change every spring out. Yeah, no, when I show the guns again, I'll kind of show the back of it, and you'll see that the frame to slide fit, like on the back of it, where it should be blending, the slide actually overhangs the slide overhangs the frame. It's all good. I was just saying the bill has passed. It will be implemented as of January 2026. We'll no longer need the $200 tax stamp, but we'll still need an NFA registry. Yep, and don't be surprised if there's a lot of opposition and appeals filed to cancel it. That's why they have until January, because it's usually a 6-month appeal process. And then you should open your own store. I am my own store. I'm going to go side in my neighbor Staccato. What you should do is throw the Staccato in the trash. I believe ATF says that private party cannot sell a gun to a person that resides in a different state than they do without an FFL transfer. So the thing about gun shows, goats, is they don't give a shit. They're not required to do any kind of paperwork. Who's gonna talk? The guy selling the gun? Yeah, there are rules on the book, but there are fools that'll drive up to West Virginia from Virginia and think they can do a private sale that way. But you are right. Thoughts on taking gunsmithing classes through Sonoran Desert Institute? I've been thinking about it lately, but probably can't afford it. I'm sure there is financial assistance available, King. Check it out. You never know. You might at least get the fundamentals. I agree with Goats. The best education is hands-on, but if you want to learn some stuff, see what they got to offer. I'm not going to stop you from learning. Just don't expect yourself to walk out of SDI and be working for a company like Wilson or Nighthawk. I peened my rails to tighten mine up a bit. I guess I just got lucky with mine being perfectly blended. I mean, Wilson Combat type perfect blending. Yeah, that is perfect blending. Fine, don't take my $500. I'll spend my money somewhere else. Yeah, the sight on top of my DWX is worth $500, so I will pass. And if you're willing to give up your wife, she ain't worth it. Yeah, it's true. I'm just stating what they say so you don't get in trouble if something happens. Yep. Better to be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Have you ever noticed the people that say that are usually like doing really questionable things? I believe so, accepts federal assistance and scholarships. Yeah. SDI is set up to accept all grants and scholarships. You just have to decide if you want to do it. Yeah, the other thing I can tell you, A-Rod, is just buy a bunch of cheap guns, take them apart, and make them run better. Getting a qualification as a gunsmith or an armorer helps for finding jobs in like gun stores and stuff, but it really doesn't do much for getting into the industry if you wanted to do that. Boom, 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 boom. In Colorado, you're required to transfer ammo, but if I get a gun in Arizona, can I take it onto my carry-on and bring it home? You cannot take it onto your carry-on. You will be checking it in again in a specialized TSA-approved case. If you put a gun into your carry-on bag and walk into an airport, not only are you going to be detained, but you will also be restricted from flying. What you need to do at this point, Josh, is you need to get on the horn with an FFL back in Colorado. Get them, you need to find one where you currently are and find one in Colorado. You need to get the one where you are to get the FFL for a gun store in Colorado near you, and they will send the gun to that store. When it goes to that store, you will then have to do your paperwork to pick it up. You will be filling out a 4473. It will no longer be a private sale. Now, if I'm going on a trip, right? So I'm going to break down the difference if you already own a firearm and you're taking it out of your home state. Because I have these handguns, if I want to take these handguns with me on a plane, they have to go into, as I stated, a TSA-approved case. The ammo cannot be within you can't assemble the gun into a fully functioning firearm. It needs to be separate in a different compartment in the case. It can be underneath everything. It can be separate. You really shouldn't be taking ammo with you anyway. But the gun must be in an approved case with an approved TSA lock. It must then be declared when you get to the airport. It would actually be better if you're doing an online check-in to declare it then, and then they will go through the process with you. But as a private citizen, if you had taken the gun to Colorado on an airplane, you could take it back to Colorado on an airplane. But buying a gun out of state, private party, and then putting it on an airplane to fly it home does create a lot of problems. I don't need anybody to sort my dildos. They're already organized, left to right, small to big. Is that a silencer on that gun? Yes, it is. So you can't buy it and take it home myself in the case. How does that work? How do you sign it in? So you need to find a gun store where you currently are right now. Go into the gun store, say, I want to ship this gun to my local FFL. You need to then give them the name of the FFL you want to send it to. They will contact the other gun store, get a copy of their FFL. So the gun will be taken out of your possession, put onto the books of the gun store in Arizona. It will then be shipped to Colorado. When it gets to Colorado, you will go to your Colorado FFL. You will then do your background check and your 4473, and then you will receive your firearm. There's usually a transfer fee. You're going to get charged shipping by the place you're sending it from, usually $35 to $50 plus shipping, and you're going to get charged a transfer fee when you get home. I can go a lot of places. There's 39 or 41 states that allow private party sales. I can go to any freaking state. You just got to find the right guy. It's harder for you to go into another state and buy a gun from a gun store than it is to buy one off the street. I can go to Washington, D.C. right now at 9 o'clock at night and probably get a street corner gun in under an hour. But I cannot go to a gun store in D.C., even during normal hours, and buy a handgun because I'm not a resident. Wavy, that's not 100% true. If you live in a state that doesn't require registration, there is no paperwork necessary. You don't have to transfer it back in. Guns, unless you live in a state where that gun needs a permit, you are not required to file any paperwork to take a gun on an airplane. You own Tisas. I have 3 Tisas firearms, but I don't own the company. Ew, an AK. Wow, Stone's being a dick. What's up, man? Why are you being like that? Typically comes out to like 60 to 80 to FFL transfer. Minimum, like I said, my cost, if somebody comes in, I charge the person mailing it 35 plus shipping. And there are some stores, like I'm mailing one to California to a buddy, and it's going to be like 150, so. All right, trash bag boy, don't insult somebody. He has a dearth of knowledge, and that's why he's asking these questions. Don't put him down. I don't want to have that kind of community. He's less educated than he should be, but that's why I keep repeating the answer. This is my live stream, not yours. Please don't start attacking other people. I am calm, brother. I'm just trying to get the most bang for my buck. Yeah, sure you are. Mouse is back. I see Tisas is on the Bass Pro site. Tisas is on everybody's site. Tisas sells to distributors and directly to stores. I paid $30 for shipping once when my Taurus was on recall. That sucks. Exactly. Like I said, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, bag boy, but I'm just saying there's no reason to start questioning his intelligence. He just doesn't know what's going on. Josh, at this point, what you're trying to do will get you in trouble. I'm telling you right now, go to a gun store. Let me ask you this, Josh. Is $100, is saving $100 worth a felony? You live in one of the worst states to own a firearm and you want to take a gun on an airplane. Are you willing to risk a felony to save $100? Machinists can do the actual work that pays in the gunsmith versus someone who can just replace parts. If you can make the parts 30 barrels, it's better route. Yep. I'll look more into schools by me and see what they have and go from there. I think there are a few trade schools near me. Yeah. And Josh, it's not a registered gun unless you did paperwork there, which is impossible if you bought a handgun. Have I shot the 37 millimeter yet? Not yet, dude. Haven't had the time to go. And I'm too stressed to really make videos right now. My syncope is back because of the stress I'm under. So yeah, I'm having a great time right now. You know, personal relationships falling to shit. Other things going on in my life. Just not really worrying about it right now. Opinions on the Ruger RXM. Ruger RXM is a decent gun. I like it. I like the interchangeable nature of the fire control unit. What's your favorite polymer striker gun and hammer gun? I don't really like poly guns. In fact, my favorite polymer gun has a tungsten infused, a metal infused frame. Things will get better. I hope so. I just get tired of like, you know, Mouse, you and I had a long conversation about it. I'm just tired of people letting me the fuck down. I got 5 friends. That's all I need. I got 5 friends and a dog. That's all I need. My uncle was a gunsmith for 60 to 70 years. He said that being a good machinist is the basis of being a great gunsmith. Oh yeah, a machinist is more capable of repairing and modifying a gun than a. So I'm a Glock armorer, a Smith & Wesson armorer, a Springfield armorer because I took their courses, but I am in no way a gunsmith. Yes, I have no problem taking files, Dremels, cut-off wheels to my guns, but that's my guns. Atticus, that's sad, man. Yeah, it's better to have quality over quantity. It comes with friends in your life. Absolutely. The AK is nice. The AK is sold. I took a Steyr Scout 308 and some money on trade for it. But he hasn't finished paying for it yet, so technically it's on layaway, so it gets to stay up there. Buster's right, man. That's why I'm asking you, dude. Is it worth the $100? Oh, nice, good stuff on the AK. Thank you. Stone is asking, you feeling better about the DWX now that you've personalized it? Mrs. Stone, are you on your husband's phone? But yes, I do feel better about the DWX now that I personalized it. Although I haven't shot it with the Fastfire E on it yet, so I'm going to take that to the range. Plus, when it comes to how expensive it is to check luggage in, yeah. Yeah, but sometimes you just got to suck up and eat that fee if you want to take your gun with you. Does the P320 have problems going off on itself? Yes, it does. I'll have to look more into it. Jim, have you heard of the company Phalanx Defense Systems? I got one of their holsters recently. I actually like it. I have not heard of them. The Phalanx the only Phalanx I'm aware of is the anti-missile gun battery on destroyers. You have to help Mrs. Mouse bring up Hay for Penny. Penny and Rocky would get along. Are Tisas carry 1911s any good? I don't own any of their carry size 1911s. I have their full size and I like them. So, no, frick you, it's me. You're just asking weird questions in a weird format, dude. What is your favorite non-1911 gun all metal? It would then fall to the CZ75 SP01, the full size, well, 4.6 inch 75. Oh, the chat just caught up. I might be stuck on a dead chat right now. I'm sorry. The shadow ban is in place, and when I stood up to go get the rounds, and Candace had already dipped out, it was just kind of killed it. And people don't want to see Doggo; they want to see Gun. How many of you have gone over to A Dog and a Dude and signed up over there? A Dog and a Dude is the name of my dog's channel. If I carry it like a 1911 with the safety on, will that take away the problem? Would you carry a 320 like that? If you have a curved trigger P320 built before 2021, you need to contact Sig Sauer and get it repaired under recall. If it's newer than 2021, which you can find out by giving them your serial number, you will be able to then find out whether or not it is part of the recall. The guns that are involved in the going off on their own are pre-21 curved trigger M17, M18, and base model guns. Tyrone said, I have. Michael signed up as soon as he saw it over there. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, it's got enough. He's got enough subs over there that I could live stream if I want to. My goal is to get him monetized on that channel so I can afford his wet food because the son of a bitch won't eat dry food. Isn't that right, Rocky? I just like calling him from time to time. Holding bullets in one hand and a straw in the other equals banned. How? Did you hear that SIG is holding off on shipping 18,000 P320s while they QC them? Right now, they're just in self-defense mode or self-preservation mode, so the fact that they're doing that, it means nothing. 18,000 for them is like 2 weeks worth. Get another dog and name him Bullwinkle so you can have Rocky and Bullwinkle. I was going to name another one Rambo. Rocky and Rambo. Then everybody's going to be like, do you like Stallone? And I'll be like, nah. I'm shacking up with this dude when the world ends. I hate to break it to you, brother. I got my dog and a bunch of guns. You ain't making it in the door. If you won't eat dry food, try wetting it for a bit. I'm not sure if you tried that or not, but it works with my dogs. No, he knows. He hates the taste of dry food even when it's been wet. I'm going to start mixing it in with chicken broth. I try to mix it with his wet food, but he's just being a dick. I think his previous owner fed him like really trash tier dry dog food, and he just doesn't like it. Plus, he probably associates eating dry food with, like, punishment time. So he gets Purina Pro wet food twice a day. Cost of ownership. That's what you guys are donating for. What did I eat today? I had a croissant for breakfast from Burger King. Thank you. It took me a minute to think about that. So I take Rocky to the park at 7 o'clock in the morning. I take him to the park at 6:30, so he's there when the park opens at 7. And then we play for about an hour, and then on the way home, I'll usually grab something, and then I make his food. He gets his breakfast. while I eat my breakfast, and then since I got them, I've only been eating like once a day. Fun fact: lots of aftermarket parts made for the Tanfolio Witness are plug and play compatible on its Easy Shadows. Yep, 100% trash. Um, they're basically the same gun. There are a couple of differences, but like you're saying, a lot of them are. No, wait, yeah, dry food, ignore that. I'm tired. No worries, dude. I get what you're saying. My dog Rocky died a couple of years ago. He lived a good life, though. Died of old age. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Mine is 16 months old, so that motherfucker better outlive me. I don't think I'm going to make it past 60, so he better outlive me. The gun shop owner in the Dawn of Dead could have thinned out that zombie crowd. How many zombies you killing from your shop? Well, I have all brick walls with heavy guarded spiked window guards and a super heavy steel door, so as many as I can. Some dog food, you add a bit of water, makes it like a gravy consistency. My mother-in-law used to get it for her dog when he was spoiled. Yeah, I'm going to be trying a few things, but he really seems to like the Purina Pro. It's like chunk beef and chunk chicken with white rice and an almost stew, and brown rice. So I'm going to get that for him. He eats better than you eat. Yeah, he does. His food smells better than my food. Okay, I brought up the gate. It was really heavy, and the bag ripped in my trunk. You should probably check how you type that, bud. I mean, why'd you have him in a bag in your trunk, Mouse? Sorry. I'm a child. I'm a 46-year-old child. Oh, goddamn. I also need a shave. As long as it's not raining, I'm going to the range tomorrow. If it's raining, I'm not. But yeah. So, yeah, I wash his dishes. I wash his dishes better than I wash mine. Because I am not letting my doggo get a cold or sick because I didn't clean his bowls well enough. So every meal I clean his bowls. I eat off of paper fucking plates. Would you carry other guns, preferably the 320 loaded with the side safety on like the 1911, or is that bad for a self-defense situation? You train yourself away from having issues with grip safeties, manual safeties, etc. If manual safeties were that detrimental to a gun, no gun would have them. So you train yourself past the grip safety or the thumb safety. And I carry the X5 Legion all the time loaded with no safeties. The X5 Legion has no thumb safety because it's not M17 based. What state are you in? I'm in Virginia. The instructor says you should train in the rain. I agree. You should train in every weather condition, 100%, even if you don't do it every time you go to the range. But I don't want to shoot the Tisas PX9 in the rain just because I'm being a little bitch about it. Also, I have to leave my doggo at home in the crate, and I don't want to be gun lung. See a few new additions to the wall. Yeah, you do, Paul. Yeah, you do. Taurus Public Defender, the Tisas PX9 comped, and the new Island top, or the Island barrel and slide for the Daria Arms. I just threw that on there because it showed up at 5:30 today. My mailman is on vacation, so his replacement is a dick. And he's showing up after 5 o'clock, even though I'm a business. Look at that. I'm not getting shit. 91% of my viewers come from the browse feature, which is why I'm shadow banned, because that means even though 91% of my views are coming from the browse feature, that only equates to 145 views. That's how shitty my views have been lately. Because of this shadow ban bullshit. How would you compare the you're talking about the PX9 to the M&P 2.0? You comped one. Honestly, there's the Performance Center Comp 9 that you have is twice the price. So being half the price, I would definitely say that the Tisas gets the nod. Also, the trigger is better than the one in the M&P. How does Tisas company shoot? I don't know, probably pretty well. I know what you're saying. I haven't shot it yet. I'm shooting the comp tomorrow. That video will be back up on Friday. I'm back. Hey, you're back in the New York mood. When shooting in foggy weather, does it make the bullet drop faster or slow it down? How does that work? Over distance, I guess an overly humid day could potentially, because that's what fog is, it's humidity, um, will affect it. But if you're 5 to 10 yards, mm-mm. Seen some of the videos from the new firearms group that called up, says American Firearms Association, some of the guys running it. And I would stay away. No, I don't know who that is. I might take a look at it. You should also do stress training. Have a buddy screaming random crap with the timer, take your shots, another buddy throwing rocks or something at your legs and feet so you have distraction while trying to hit your targets. Yeah, that's on the more advanced side. A lot of people don't even do that. A lot of people don't even do movement. You should practice movement too. Another thing I would do is buy some snap caps, have a friend of yours insert them randomly into your mags so that you have failure drills at the same time, because you could have a failure while you're in a self-defense situation. I really want to get in and out. Mrs. Mouse got some and is eating the leftovers right in front of me. Grab the bunny and threaten it. Hi, Mrs. Mouse. I don't condone it. He won't actually do anything. As a small quadruped owner now, I just feel really bad even saying that. Snap caps are great for malfunction training. Absolutely. And like I said, it's better if you have like a buddy randomly do it, and you get most of your mag loaded for free. I'm going to jump off to take a shower, have a good night, and take it easy. All right, King, you have a good one. She said it's all right, better than McDonald's leftovers. The other day I had a bacon cheeseburger from Burger King that sat around in my fridge for a day. It congealed. She said hi and that you sound like you're in a better mood. I'm trying to be. I've accepted a lot of things like we talked about when you and I talked on the phone. And it's not fair to my audience that comes in here for me to be a dick. I'm hiding a little bit of my stress, but I'm making myself not think about the other shit. Intentionally creating a failure in the gun is a really great idea. Absolutely. And using a snap cap guarantees that you don't damage the gun in any way. It makes you have to do the tap rack. How you doing, Jeff? Thoughts on bullpups, by the way, I don't think I've asked you. I'm not a fan of bullpups because it takes the functionality of the gun and modifies it by moving the controls, basically remote mounting your trigger. It's like using your broom handle to turn off the light switch from here. It works and it does the job, but it doesn't feel quite right. So many bullpups, especially bullpups that are here in the United States, including guns like the PS90, the Steyr AUG, the Chris Vector, which I would almost consider that. It's not bullpup, but it's a short, the way that you recoil and where the action is. Penny's really mad. She looks pissed. Give her some of that food. But in general, a bullpup is designed for full auto fire and CQB, or at least select fire and CQB. So when you have just one trigger pull to fire multiple rounds, you don't have to deal with the crappy trigger. That's my opinion on them. Glot. 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 What about Tavor? It's fine. Your money already cleared, so it's great. No, it's fine. The gun is fine. It's just you give up some of the ability to have a great trigger. I have the Geisley full setup in my X95. It feels like one of the Geisley AR triggers. Doesn't feel like a bullpup trigger. Really? Hey, Mouse, get the Geisley full setup in your X95 when you get it. Got to give Penny some hay. Sounds good. Springfield Hellion. It's one of the newest bullpups on the market, and just by development time, association with materials, things like that, it's a very solid bullpup. It's still not my go-to. And I'm sorry if that doesn't come off as the answer that people want, but bullpups are not really my go-to. If I gave hay to my dog, he would puke it up. Tell you that you are my stress relief, so no, we appreciate you taking time to hang with us and give us advice. I appreciate that, man. I'll be showing you guys. I didn't link SDS or Tisas in the comments because obviously if you do that, YouTube bitches. So, what guns am I taking to the range tomorrow? Tell you what, let me turn and I'll grab a light and we'll take a look at what's on the wall. I'm back in a New York movie. God damn, $400. That's what my binary costs. All right, let me turn one of these lights so we get more light over here. There we go. So tomorrow, I will take the Fusion Firearms with the rainbow threaded barrel so I can shoot it suppressed. I have not shot it suppressed yet. I might do a final range trip with the Rock Island 5.0 before I have to send that back to Rock Island because I am not paying the money they want for it for me to keep it. I will be taking the PX9 comp. Obviously, since that's a new gun, I need to put some rounds through it. And then I'll also be taking the ported island barreled DY9. So that's the original slide. I got to transfer the optic over before I go. But that's my original slide. That is my upgraded ported comped island barrel slide. Sorry, the light isn't perfect. Hold on a second. Multiple lights. So there you go. You can see the island setup on there. So I'm going to take that with me tomorrow and shoot that. And then I did some personalization works on the Fusion Firearms guns. So I'll be shooting that one as well. And I'll probably take the DWX and run the mag through it. I don't intend to do much with it. That will be a cool video with the can on it. I just want to see how the gun itself cycles because the barrel is one of only 4 parts that interchanges with Glock stuff anyway. One of your friends is plotting on one, so I'm hoping that it shoots as well as the XF Pro because that's normally a ported barrel, and I shot that one with the ported barrel. I did the shorts video where I'm one-handing it sideways. Where's the Gerson X? It will be up on Wednesday. The DWX is how much? The MSRP on the DWX without an optics plate is $2,200. Does the Ermac still have a Phillips head screw in the frame on the inside? I honestly can't say I looked. Yeah, the Daria DY9 is a solid pickup. Mine shoots really nice. I'm interested in seeing how it shoots with the comp top on it. Still got to clean a bunch of guns from my range trips. Nice. The original ones had a really big Phillips head screw on some part inside the frame. Yeah, now I'm questioning that. I'm going to take it apart and check it out after the videos, after tonight. So, that DY9 is nice. Yeah, so I do have to say thank you to Daria because they sent out that slide. They're also sending me a Melic at the end of the month. One of their Beretta M92 clones, so we'll see how I like that one. Oh, Joe, I took a pic of the bulletin board at the range I did my CCW training at. You guys see the prices. All right, shot 1,100 rounds through mine in one sitting, and it did great. Yeah, I anticipate the gun will run fine. I mean, it's using improving technology, but this is what I'm talking about. They're able to, so they sell that gun complete for $600 or something like that on their website. So $600 for an island comped Glock clone, where if Glock had done the island comp and the RMR cut and everything that's been done to that gun would be like the Aimpoint COA Glocks. It'd be $1,000. What bull pump do you like the most out of the box? Really don't like any of them, to be honest. I'm not a rifle guy. What are your thoughts on the Judge? I have the Governor. I like the Judge. That one up there is the polymer frame one, so that's actually the Public Defender. I like them. They're fine. Luckily, that one's a 3-inch chambering, too. Will the DY9 slide fit on a Gen 3 frame? No, it will not, because the top is actually Gen 4 compatible. Gen 4, Gen 5. So the I took a Gen 5 19 MOS slide and put it on the Daria, and I put the Daria slide on top of the Glock. So, yeah. Ever since you showed the Beretta on one of your videos, my wife has been guilt-tripping me for not getting her one. You talking about the Ghost? I can still get it. My buddy took it out shooting the other day, and he doesn't like it anymore. Yeah, just contact me through the store tomorrow. My phone number is on the website. It's also on Google, Wind City Armory. If you call me tomorrow sometime after 11 o'clock, if you're actually interested in it, I'll talk to you about it. Thoughts on airsoft? It's fine. It's a way to have replicas of real firearms. It also allows you to practice battery of arms for a lot of them. A lot of the UMREX and a lot of the manufacturer licensed versions are extremely accurate. People say Gen 4 is the best Gen Glock ever made. I mean, a Gen 5 is a Gen 4 without finger grooves. Is a bullet and a cartridge the same thing? It's an interchangeable word that is highly accepted, although technically cartridge is correct because the bullet is one of the major components of a cartridge. So this is a 50 BMG cartridge, but this has the 4 fundamental parts of a round. It has the bullet. The bullet is actually the part that gets fired out of the gun. It has a casing which contains the powder and the primer. So the primer, you can see the round thing on the bottom, is struck by the striker, or in the case of a 50 BMG, usually a hammer, and that detonates the primer, which then sets off the gunpowder, which then fires the bullet out of the gun. But people call them bullets just because it's easier. Is that a polymer Judge? Yes, it's the polymer variant, and it's called the Public Defender because the poly ones were called Public Defenders. I took it in on trade for one of my Canics. God damn! $2,000 for a 47? Aero Precision 16-inch 9mm AR for $1,300. I can't show this because it's got everybody's personal information, but holy shizbot. Absolutely no trades. I'm going to call this guy and offer him $400. Public Defenders made of plastic. Yep. Finger grooves are good. If your hand fits it well. Luckily mine does. You're going to compare the PX9 carry to the Canic Meta MC9. Should be a pretty interesting comparison. You see, lol, it's insane. No shit, I keep giving you too low of a price. Everything just went up 63% for you. Just kidding. I hate the Schmitty hinge triggers. Either my SD9 or MP40Cs are tolerable. You can change those out for Apex, though. They're like $80. Change it a lot. I know what I got. No low ballers. It's also a super low res black and white photo on a folded piece of 8.5 by 11. Have I tried out the Rite yet? Nope, I'm taking that tomorrow. Thank you, by the way. I'm taking that tomorrow as well. Thoughts on the Tisas PX57? I have the first generation version of it. I like it. I did not get the optics cut version, so I regret that. The Gen 2, which is called the Raptor, they went with a bull barrel so that eventually they can sell a threaded barrel for it, and I'm going to get my hands on one of those as well. It's kind of hard for me to just ask Tisas to send me every gun they make because we spent a year and a half with me bitching about them. So I'm trying to give them a chance naturally to get back in my graces. I will say, though, I clearly got a pre-production sample of the PX9 because mine came with replacement fiber optic inserts. My gun doesn't have fiber optic sights. Wow, you got guns. I got guns, man. I got lots of guns. Trying to get the Raptor as well. Yeah, I'm on their list, so that's why I got the PX9. I heard it jams with certain type of 5.7. It could. I would anticipate it probably could have that issue, depending on which ones you're running. Being a striker-fired gun and a heavier slide than even the Smith & Wesson. What's that revolver? That is a Taurus Public Defender 410-45 Long Colt polymer frame revolver. It weighs something stupid like 14 or 15 ounces. It's less than a pound. What's your choice for gun safes? So we have a Tractor Supply company near me. And I have a couple of their Winchester branded safes. They're not biometrics. They're digital and key backup. That is my recommendation. Also, they don't have a history of just giving out a code to anybody that calls and claims their ATF. But basically, anything is better than nothing. Even if you have a gun locker, which I have a couple of those as well, a gun locker is better than absolutely nothing. Although now that I'm saying that out loud, I don't even have any. I got rid of all my blacksmith shit. No offense to anybody that still uses them. They're fine. It's just they broke my trust by screwing me over for sponsorships. I don't always go scorched earth on a motherfather, but some people deserve it. And they're a Chinese company that were just looking for micro influencers. So when I asked them to pay me what I was actually worth because I was selling a lot of their products, they kind of ghosted me. Like when I gave away 2 of their safes and they didn't send out the safes. Chanson is one of them. If Chanson comes in here, he has my personal blacksmith pistol safe. One of them, he has the one that was sent to me for a review because I gave it away and blacksmith refused to send the one out to the winner. Most rounds through on the wall, not including the Night Stalker. Those are all 2025 guns, so none of them have excessive rounds through them. If I have to say right now, probably a tie between... Actually, the Fusion Firearms has more rounds because I let my buddy borrow it too. The Fusion Firearms, I believe, has 500 rounds through it now. The DWX has 250 rounds through it. The Tisas Duty has 184 rounds through it, and my AREX Rex 01 Tactical has 200 rounds through it. So I wish I got one of those blacksmith safes for free. I'm sorry, dude. I still have the pistol one if you want it. I just got the Winchester 26 gun safe. It really only fits 15 long guns, depending on scopes or not. Yeah, that makes sense. Right now I have a full-size Sentry stand-up here in the store, full-size Sentry stand-up, which is fine. My buddy brought it, and I traded him for one of my gun lockers. And I need to get a 36 gun safe installed in here. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I keep my echelon in my blacksmith safe. Law. I will find you better alternatives, Mouse. Trust me. Gun safe buying tip, take whatever their claimed amount of guns is, holds, and divide it by half. Here's the thing I do, goats, is I actually take whatever they say the number of rifles is and double it because I'll add extra shells and use it only for pistols. Need to buy a gun safe before I go to Florida in December. Just give me your home address. I got you, boo. Their numbers do not take into account scopes or pistol grips. Also, extended length guns, like 40-inch overall lengths. Is Glock 18 really as bad as they say it is? What about running it with a foregrip? Well, as a private individual, civilians in the United States aren't legally allowed to own them. So a machine pistol that can fire 600 rounds a minute and you're holding it with just your hand, yeah, it's going to go all over the place. You're not controlling it. And if you're running a 33-round mag, by the time you get it back on target, you have 3 rounds left. You might as well fire it in semi. What gun is the best in the zombie apocalypse? Whichever one you can fire from long range. You can't get a tax stamp for the Glock 18 because it came into the United States in 1987, 1 year after the machine gun ban went into place. As of yet, I did about 2 hours worth of searching. I could not find a civilian Glock 18C for Glock 18 or Glock 18C for civilian use. They came in after the 1986 machine gun ban. Now, I can get one with a Class 3 FFL, but as a civilian, you cannot. Just got approved for California handgun roster, but needs to have mag disconnect, loaded chamber indicator, and external safeties. God damn! Yes, there are 93Rs because those were around before the ban. I believe the 93Rs were created originally in 83 or something like that, or 82. Basically, when the 92 was created, they started developing those. That was sucky of them. Yes, 100%. Yeah, and if you happen to find, there is speculation that there are a few 18s that came into the United States prior to the cutoff date for the machine gun ban. And again, I have not seen one. I have not found evidence of one. I could be wrong, but if you manage to find a fully transferable Glock 18 that can go into a civilian ownership, you're paying six figures minimum. A fully transferable M16A2, the short one, runs about 80 grand. So, what caliber would you choose? You're talking about auto sears on a 17. Then I would say that you would need to specify that. But again, I would need to do more research. I don't know of any legal auto sears for a Glock 17, but I could be wrong. What caliber do you choose for long-range sniping? I don't have a choice. Somebody brought me a 308, and I have I've got a Savage Scout 308 and a AR-15. My AR-15 can reach out pretty good. So let's see. Are there any legal full transferable Glock auto sears? Bum, bum, bum. Fully transferable Glock auto sears, which would allow a Glock pistol to fire automatically, are not legal for civilians to own. The 1986 Firearm Owners Protection Act banned the transfer of newly manufactured machine guns to private citizens. Only machine guns registered before that date are considered transferable and can be legally owned by civilians, but they're extremely rare and expensive. Let's see. Yeah, so same situation, dude. You're asking about an individual part for a Glock? Not legal. And the auto sear, that is a part of the gun. That is not a fully transferable part, so that wouldn't qualify anyways. Do you send out forms to be filled out by customers before a purchase price has been agreed upon? For example, customers in Texas. There's technically no forms for you to fill out if you're in Texas, Jeff. You and I would come to an agreement. I would just need the FFL's information, and then I would create an invoice or a receipt for you and send it off to your FFL. If you're in Texas, you will do all your paperwork when you go to pick up the gun. There is literally no paperwork required on my end other than a copy of the transferable of the FFL it's going to. Yes, FRTs are on Glocks. My range is capped at 25 yards. It won't shoot anything above 5.56. Yeah, that makes sense. Mrs. Mouse gave Penny and Pedro hay. Man, she's feeding them better than she fed you because she won't give you the In-N-Out burger. What's the worst gun you have? I'll give you a hint. Starts with Glock, ends with Glock. Okay, great. No problem, Jeff. Favorite on the wall tonight, not including the DWX. You do that to me all the time. I swear to God, it's not Stone. It's his wife that's got the phone today. Favorite on the wall tonight. Now, I'm not going to suck Tisas' butthole and say it's their new gun because I haven't shot it yet. Favorite gun on the wall tonight that I've shot would be a tie between the double stack Duty and the Fusion Firearms XP Pro. What gun would you want in full auto? Not a one. I don't have a use for something in full auto, and I don't anticipate ever having use for something in full auto. Although Stone is going to be providing a Glock 18 for the company. Force reset triggers are not full auto, Josh. What gun is that on the bottom left? It is a Daria Arms DY9. Shot a 10-22 full auto before, and it was fun to go, Bert. 22 is one of the exceptions to the full auto rule. because they have so little recoil, they're easy to get back on target. Stone, did you start the 529 plan for the kids yet? Dude, he's just keeping them alive till they're 18 and kicking them out. He's a real dad. I would want the American 180. Yeah, that's an expensive gun these days, though.
I'm going to put my cap on my cap.
How are people getting FRTs for Glocks? FRTs are legal, Josh. I'm sorry, I can't keep answering your question because I answer your question, you keep asking the question again. FRTs are not full auto. They are 100% legal. You can buy them and put them in your gun. Now, you may live in a municipality or a state that doesn't allow them. States can ban a part, but legally in any state that doesn't outright state that they're banned, FRTs are legal. I need to set up a CD at the bank for them. 529 is better. It's tax-free. Lol. Have a good night. I'm going. All right, dude. 22 ain't reliable for full auto. It can be. It's the gun and the manufacturer of the ammo that matters. Yeah, switches are illegal, but force reset trigger is not a switch. No, Josh, just because somebody makes them for one gun doesn't mean they make them for everything, my guy. You need to go to FRT's website, and they'll tell you what guns they manufacture them for. It's not as simple as just because they make them for one gun, they make them for every gun. That's not possible. You need to go to FRT's website and look at their gun choices. Do I have a Gatling gun? Nope. How is your white chinchilla doing, Stone? Is its eye better? Damn, you guys talk about more than I do these days. They made a new FRT for the AR-15, the Arizona regulator. It goes in the little gap on the upper. Ah, interesting. I will continue to live in states that allow me to own that shit. I want to go to In-N-Out. Do it, dude. You're a grown man. Mrs. Mouse, I don't condone him doing whatever the hell he wants. Just beat him up. How reliable do you think an FRT on a Glock 44 would be? It's a trigger, dude. If the gun is already reliable and it can run 22 ammo, it's a trigger. All it does is forces your finger out when you go to release it to reset the trigger. Yeah. When we looked up the medicine you suggested, it's been working nice. I've never had In-N-Out. Is it really as good as I've heard? I don't know. All I know is that they open a Buc-ee's here, almost 2 hours from my place. And my buddy came in. They went last week, and then they drove down yesterday and brought me back some from there. So at least yesterday I had a good pulled brisket sandwich. Josh, that's not how a gun works. A gun is going to cycle at the rate it's going to cycle. Pulling the trigger, you can't pull the trigger faster than the gun can cycle 90% of the time. There are people that can outrun an FRT. I can tell you right now, based on your level of knowledge and the way you're asking questions, you're not fast enough to outrun an FRT. Buc-ee's is insane. I wish we had one close. That would be cool. Tried In-N-Out, was in California. It's not worth being in California. Ha! Yeah, and I'm not trying to be rude to you, Josh. But I can tell you, based on the conversation we've had tonight and the fact that you're still learning guns as much as you are, that you will never outrun an FRT until you do thousands of hours of training with it. Guys like Jerry Michelik can outrun an FRT. I've got friends that can outrun a binary, but you're not outrunning an FRT. Your FRT is pretty fast. Yes, FRTs can be extremely fast, but they still require full movement, not a full movement, but they require participation of the person shooting the gun. And when you're that novice with guns, you're not going to be able, you're probably going to make it jam just because you're not running it right. I would not put an FRT on a Glock 44 because a Glock 44 is trash, period. And it's a 10-round gun. Why do you want to go fast with the 10-round gun? And the only way to get more rounds is to buy aftermarket mags. So you want to take unreliable mags, fill them with unreliable ammo, and put them in an unreliable gun. And you're going to spend more for the you're going to spend at least the same for the trigger as you will for your gun. So you're going to wind up with a $900 Glock 44 Jam-O-Matic with an FRT in it. I do not recommend putting it in a 44 because Glocks are fucking trash. Have I ever tried the steel frame PDPs? I've held one. I have not shot one yet. And the price on them, holy shizbit. Shooting for 25 years, over 10 in a competition, some of the most advanced training you can get, and I still can't outrun an FRT. That's what I'm saying. That's why I think like Jerry Michelick's one of the few that can, and some other guys. I mean, like you said, 10 years in competitive settings, because here's a hot take. I'm going to throw it out there. FRTs are for people that don't want to learn technique. FRTs are for people that just want to look cool and make their guns go brrr. I guarantee you a competent, fast, competitive shooter like Buster will outshoot anybody with an FRT in competition. It doesn't matter how fast the gun goes. What matters is your control over the firearm. You ended up buying a Mark IV target after talking to you about it last week. Pretty dope for 22. Yeah, I wish they had ever... Makarov eventually came out with the double PM. Why can't Ruger Mark IV come out with a double stack frickin' 22? That would be amazing. I heard the TX22 is pretty solid. Would you agree? I'm looking to get one. Yes. If you want a semi-auto 22 caliber firearm, Taurus TX22 is my number one recommendation, although I would say get at least a Toro. Don't get one that's not optics cut because the price difference isn't that much. Or, I think my dog shit, or the Sig Sauer P322. But I would go Taurus first, Sig second. Put an FRT in my 300 Blackout. It's fun, but not worth it. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Dollar around. Woohoo! 9 or 10 mil would be a better choice. A good gun is the better choice. Jerry Michelick has Popeye hands. Yes, he does. 45 ACP. 45 ACP here in the state of Virginia is $27. It's over 50 cents a round. Why do you want to go fast with 45 ACP? Yeah, sorry. That's that Minnesotan coming out when I say dollar. Oh, dude, double stack Ruger Mark IV would be a game changer. Yes, it honestly would be. You like your 71 over the Mark IV. That's cool. Is a Toro just optics cut, or is it more features too? It's just optics cut, basically. So if you can find a deal on a base one and you don't care about having an optic on it, go for it. They're usually on sale, or you can find one at a pawn shop for under a couple $100. I'd say go for it just to shoot the gun. If you want something that's optics cut, then you're definitely going to want the Toro. Although, if you want something where the optic is separate from everything else and you want the competition, you like the orange over the alien. Josh, my guy, I don't understand. We're trying to explain this to you as simply as we can, my guy. And I understand you're asking a question that has nothing to do with what you asked before, because I'm answering your question and you're changing your question. You have no reason to run an FRT. You are not physically capable of running an FRT correctly, and you will never get the benefit of an FRT until you've had a shit ton of training. That's the easiest way I can put it. It is useless to you until you learn all the fundamentals of gun control and trigger control. If you're a competent shooter who's already competitive and you can do all this shit, then you can start playing with triggers. And I'm just going out on a limb here based on the way you're asking questions, the way you keep changing your questions, and your lack of grasping the answers we're giving you. You are not a competent shooter yet. You need to focus on basics before you start modifying a gun. And I'm not trying to be insulting to you, guy, but we're not going to continue to entertain the same question asked 5 different ways. I've explained it as plainly as I can. You will not benefit from an FRT. The only reason someone like you would put an FRT in your gun is just to look cool. It doesn't matter what caliber it is. You can put it in a fucking single shot fucking revolver for all I care. It means nothing to someone at your level. Think I'm kind of bored of the Mark IV. I have 7,500 rounds through it, and it's a bitch to clean. Hey, you got the 71, so just put it up on the wall, dude. Think the 6 years I was in the Army probably went Fallout 10 times, waste of ammunition, never hit anything. Yeah, it's suppressive fire. It's never been proven that machine gun fire can be accurate unless you have accuracy by volume. So if you have an entire battalion of men, 10,000 men firing their AR-15s at full auto, and they don't do that anymore. Aren't they select fire for the most part, 3-round bursts? But going as fast as they can. If you have 10,000 men firing as fast as they can, and they all dump 30-round mags, so you fire 300,000 rounds downrange, you'd be surprised at the results. It's not going to be as Swiss cheese as you think it is. 45 is coined as large caliber, so it's widely known and used. If you search just large caliber, the only result will be 45. Yes, because everybody referred to John Moses Browning as God, basically. You got to learn more about a gun before you put an FRT into it. It's not plug and play. Pretty much. Chanson, what is up, kid? Focus on accuracy before speed. The amount of ammo you put down range doesn't matter if you aren't hitting anything. No, he won't. That gun is going... It's like all them numbnuts that fucking put 33-round mags into their Glock 27 with 4 different types of ammo, and they're using ETS mags, and they're mag dumping in a lake and somehow miss the lake, and that's with a stock trigger. Can you imagine with an FRT? That motherfucker is going to have a discharge... Not you, Josh, but the guy, the idiot with the fucking 27. Put an FRT in that thing's going to be shooting around into the next goddamn county. High point heat cannon with an FRT. 6 times the value of the heat cannon coming in. Imagine an FRT in a revolver. It would look like those competitive like revolver shooters. Driving in and out with Mrs. Mouse now. Holy crap, what did you promise her? Are the guns real? Yes. Cody, welcome back. Yeah, you don't want full auto 10mm or full 45. There's no goddamn point. There's a reason why a Tommy gun weighs 14 pounds. Dude, do you ever watch the shorts with that trick shooter, the revolver guy trick shooter, that can fire 5 rounds in one shot? Because obviously you just you hold the trigger and fan the hammer. You guys ever seen that guy? He's insane. He builds like super custom guns. Hey, Chanson, did they give you shit for flipping your cylinder on your windicator? I don't have chat up. Is Chanson still here? Windicator. You called it a vindicator. That's why I was messing with you in the chat, dude. Windicator. It's not pronounced vindicator, it's windicator. I know! Take down your trash-ass video and fix it, bitch. No, I'm just kidding. That's what I was trying to do. Rage bait. Sure you were. Like all those fools that made their first echelon videos and they kept calling them echelons or echelons. Dude, I had to turn off 3 different videos because motherfuckers were reviewing the gun and they kept, so I got my Springfield echelon. The fuck? One guy was literally calling them echelons. And it's not just guns, by the way, guys. When I can't tolerate mispronunciations on some things, it's not just guns. The TI on a graphics card, if you're ever playing around with tech, 1080 Ti, 2080 Ti, 5080 Ti, the TI stands for titanium. It is not pronounced Ti. That's not what it is. It's titanium. Titanium. Yes, it is said titanium, but if you're such a social outcast loser motherfucker that you're going to pronounce the word Ti in your graphics card, DB, what's up, kid? You are still hanging in there with the weird shit pictures you keep sending me, although your shooting was pretty solid. BS stands for bullshit. Also stands for Bachelors of Science. All right, I'll be having more fancy and better guns from now on, though, so no more weird names. Actually, you'll be surprised, dude. You're going to find some weird-ass fucking names, dude. Never be afraid of that. When you start getting into Kimbers and you have a Jaeger, but everybody keeps calling them Jaggers, or the Squallow Beretta, I'm just giving you shit, though, Chanson. I just like messing with people. Just, you know, delete your channel. Sent you some pics they willing to send out on Discord. Sent some pics that they're willing to send out on Discord. Who's willing to send? EAA? Making me load up Discord. I feel like trash. Pizza was delicious. It wasn't New York style, so I'll take your word for it. Oh, you're talking about your sponsor. Got it. I mean, if he's willing to send you the Oracle of Arms, that would be an interesting one to check out. The Dueler is what it is. You just gotta read your own audience, though, man. Taking something because you want to shoot it, that is really freaking cool. But you want to make sure that you're not abandoning your core audience. Yeah, just make sure that, like you said, read your audience. My audience doesn't care about rifles, even though some people come into lives and say that. How's Tisas balls taste nowadays? What's wrong with me liking Tisas now? Here's the deal, DB, and I've said this on multiple lives. I was right when I said their gun wasn't forged. I wasn't wrong. I was right. And the best part about being right is I wasn't wrong. So, yeah. Finding out why my gun wasn't forged, or the Night Stalker. By the way, do you want a lever gun for the Night Stalker, Stone? But finding out why the gun wasn't forged was pretty important. You're going to do the same thing you do now, just with fancy guns. Nice. As for the Tisas, I'm happy with it. I don't know. Find one. Let me know. I kind of want the Night Stalker back, because it's one of only 1,000 guns with that issue. So I really do want the gun back. So if there's a lever gun that you're interested in, look at the distributors and let me know. It'll be the end of the month when I can afford it, but I already have your gun. But I have other channels I go to for rifle content. That's not one why I'm here. And I get that, Buster. And I never want to represent myself as... I know a lot about handguns, and I know a lot about companies, and I know a lot about mechanics and shit. And honestly, if I wanted to get into rifles, I could swing that way. But I'm not going to force myself to do that, because I do this for fun. Man, that was the first one I bought from you, though. Okay, fine. Sell me back the TSO, and I won't ask you to sell me back the Night Stalker. Thought I just kicked my dog in the face, but he's in my bedroom. You just ordered the Rete, waiting for it to come in. Let me know how you like it, dude. I'm going to shoot mine tomorrow, and I'll put up a video on it. Is it? I could have swore you bought the high power first. My sponsor has 4 M249s in stock, but sadly can't get them because I'm in Washington. Send them to me. Although I really don't want to borrow guns for my videos. It's why I'm sending back to Rock Island right away. I don't want that trash tier shit. No, I'm just kidding. It's a good gun, but I don't want to pay what they want for it. I have companies sending me guns, $2,000, $2,500 worth of guns, and all they ask for is videos. And then some companies ask for their guns back, and I don't like that shit. Although I am getting the Bursa 2011. I filled out the paperwork for that today. What's my favorite Turkish company? I'm trying to come up with the manufacturer of something that isn't guns because you didn't specify to be a dick, but I can't even think of any. But when it comes to the gun manufacturing, I treat them all pretty equally. Gerson, Tisas, or SDS. They're both pretty solid. They're giving me a Stoker STR9C to keep, but not the best, but not a... Dude, that's how you start, bro. You got 20,000 subs. I didn't get my first free gun until I had 130,000 subs, so you're doing good, dude. You're in the In-N-Out drive-thru line. Put me on speaker. I want 4 number 4s, 2 number 3s, a large Diet Coke because I'm watching my figure, and 18 apple pies. Scrolling the lives is wild. It can be, DB. I just paused myself. Oh my God, do we have more people or did some numbnut just come in here and actually find something? You're on my car's audio. Nice! And I only have pennies to pay for it, girl. Palm Springs of Washington. They don't even sell that here except the Diet Coke. And another one. So all of you that have hit the like button, thank you so much. Also go over to A Dog and a Dude. That's the YouTube channel for my doggo. Rocky! Come here, buddy. No, I can't wait for TikTok to be nuked off the planet. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. The people want to see you. Come here. Come here. Come on. Up. 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 Good boy. Check out this good boy. This is my boy right here. Up here. Look. See? You're good. You're good. How are the Ruger pistols, preferably the older SR models? I want to get a lot of the newer Ruger pistols for range time. They're pretty solid. Is there a P.O. box we can send dog toys to? I think that would be a cool idea. You can send them directly to my store. I just can't give you the information right here. But just Google Wind City Armory. My address is publicly available. No, I bought the high power when I went down to see you for the first time. Dogs are great. I'm happy that he's comfortable enough now that he's willing to sleep in another room while I'm doing stuff. Okay, I'm back. Hey, Luke. Oh, yeah. Here's how cool Stone is, right? The first time I met Stone in person, he left me a Tommy gun, a Kimber Rapide, and... what else? Your Echelon? I can't remember what guns he left me, but he left me like 4 of them. Can you get less lethal shotgun, rubber bullet, or beanbags? Yes, I can. You looking for some? What did Tisas release? Tisas released the PX9 Duty Comp gun. So it's a comped barrel, kind of like Smith & Wesson comps and all the other guns that have come out recently. It has an upgraded trigger, a flat face trigger that has like under 4-pound pull weight. RMR optics out of the box, 18 round, uses 226 mags, lots of compatibility. About how old is Rocky? They're not 1,000% sure. He's between 16 and 18 months old. I actually think he's closer to the 16-month range because he's taking training very well, and you hear how well he recalls. So, or you saw. Tisas Shilling, love it. You thought I was going to give you the finger, didn't you? Well, I only finger people I like. That came out right. Sweet, thanks. No problem, dude. Check it out. Google Tisas PX9 Duty Comp. If you put Nerf darts in a shotgun, would it shoot and would it be deadly? Only if you freeze the darts first. It'll probably explode them because you'd have to load them down the barrel. Although you can put quarters, nickels, and dimes. You can turn a modern shotgun into a blunderbuss if you don't give a shit about the shotgun. I got a vanilla milkshake for Mrs. Mouse. Well ordered one. Nice! I want one too! Ship it to Virginia! Just put Joe! Funny question. If Rocky was a human based on his personality, what gun would he carry? My boy, because he's always by your side, reliable, and only shits on the floor when he's nervous, probably would be a Beretta. Do you have a blunderbuss? Nope. That would be funny though. Anyone ever use a lever? Dude, did you see the short I put up today? If that motherfucker ever picked a Glock, I'd take him back to the pound. Are you intending to review any Mac firearms like their Staccato clone 9DS comp? Yes, I'm waiting for them to get me one. It's SDS, so I'm waiting for them to get them back in stock for review samples. So they sent me the BR9 double stack, and they're going to send me the 9 double stack. Although, Air Max, to be fair, all the clickbait you're seeing, the Mac 9DS is not a clone of the Staccato XC because the Staccato XC has a barrel it's an island barrel. The Gerson Match X is a true XC clone. The double stack comp is just a 5-inch gun with a port in it. I once saw a girl pick up a Corona, no hands, and it wasn't her mouth either. Ah, butt chugging. I love that one. Does Beretta make anything at 45? Yes, the PX4 Storm. Conversely, she also smoked a cigar. Damn. Oh, yeah, the FN57. That's right. Infilable. What's up? Henry Model X 4570 done me right for years. Yeah, I like the Henry Model X stuff. Island Campman. He's a good dog. Yeah, he's the good old boy. Just a good old boy. Never meaning no harm. No, I just got him to start playing today with a tug rope, but he bled from his gums a little bit, so I got to be very careful with him. I don't think he's ever had a chew toy, a pull toy, a regular toy. He doesn't know how to chew a bone, so I got to teach him all this stuff. And it's starting to hurt my teeth because I have to do it first. Gen 3 PX9 Duty Original had a flat face trigger as well. Yes, it did. This one, they slightly changed the geometry, and the reset is better. But yeah, it is also flat face. I mean, it's a great gun. I recommended the PX9 carry back when I first reviewed one. Although I thought it would be funny to... because my Fusion Firearms also has a ported barrel. Obviously, you don't want to thread a ported barrel. So I'm thinking about drilling ports into the top of that PSA barrel that's in there and firing it suppressed with the ports and see what happens. What's the revolver on the bottom left? That is a Taurus Public Defender 45 Long Colt 410 shotgun. Forgot about the PX4 Storm. Those are kind of neat. Do you know if they run well? Yes, they run excellent. They're a rotating barrel system, which is a little bit odd. They were actually entered into the military trials to replace the standard Beretta. They just lost. Have I played with the balls you sent me? Yeah, I duct taped them under Rocky so he could remember what they felt like. PX9 is a solid gun. Yeah, it seems like it. We'll see how well it shoots. Is it a 6-shooter? 5-shotter. It's a rotary barrel, kind of like the new PR57. Yeah, but much beefier. Also, it doesn't have an integrated magazine. Yeah, it's also a 3-inch chambered 410. That takes 3-inch shells, which is interesting because you can load up some hot self-defense stuff in that. But it's also a polymer frame gun, so whew. It's missing the Kel-Tec insanity. Yeah, I just think that the owners of Tisas don't like cocaine as much as Kel-Tec does. I'll show you 3 inches. I don't like it that wide. AKM? No, that's just a standard AK-47 1970 Romanian dong. I love the look of revolvers with short barrels. Oh, they're interesting. I wouldn't want to shoot a shit ton of rounds through that thing, though. Lightweight plus the poly frame plus the shells it shoots. It would get a little annoying after like 150 rounds. What's the best 45 ACP made in your opinion besides the 1911? Shit. You ruined it. The CZ97. You need a doggo cam. I have a doggo channel, but it's just been short so far. I got to make a long form with him. Can that chamber 3-inch 410? Yes, it can. Joe, I missed it earlier when you what's your process for 1911s? Do you offer it as a service? I am not a like a registered gunsmith or anything like that. My process for my 1911s is, number one, I'll try to shoot them the way they come out of the box first, and I'll see what they need. But basically, it's mostly removing coatings and then making sure that the tolerance is still acceptable. And then if needs be, I can change out springs and parts and stuff. I am a gunsmith. I sent a picture to my buddies of me trying to use a soldering iron to heat up the Loctite on my DWX optics plate. So you should try shooting clays with that Taurus. No, I'm good, dude. That short barrel plus all that stuff, I can't hit clays with a shotgun. I'd probably miss for sure. CZ Customs made a CZ97 into a 10mm, kind of dumb considering 10 Folio has like a dozen models. It is, but they're technically two separate companies, so I mean that's like saying it's dumb for any other company to make a 10mm. I mean, when you think about it from that perspective. When is the Tisas banner arriving for the live streams? As soon as their check clears. I am a bought and paid for hooker. Shut the fuck up. Dude, look what's on my table right now. I have the Daria bag and a Daria box. So I will shill for whoever I want to, you bastard. Have you ever seen the Colt Pedersen 1836? I think it looks really cool. Probably in pictures. I've never held one. You should potty train Rocky putting down a Glock to poop on. Yeah, but the problem is I have a Glock tattoo. Influencer's going to influence. It's a good carry, 2011. Bull Armory, SAS 2. Almost at the drive-thru window. Shit, it's been like 20 minutes, dude. Lady, I want my milkshake when it's still a milkshake. I don't want a soup. Why do you have a Glock tattoo? Lost a bet? Technically, I won a bet, Brooke. Or Brooks. So, chat, which you're currently participating in, so technically you're part of the fail. They paid me over $3,000 to get a Glock tattoo. They also paid $500 to name Rocky. Milkshake technically is a soup. Yeah. No, you lost. Dude, I don't even look at it anymore. It's in the store for sale. I'm not putting it on the wall if it's for sale. Why don't you go back and make it look like a 1911? Because it's the word and the emblem for Glock. I'd take that deal as well. Definitely worth it. Oh, yeah. I told them $5,000. I let them talk me down. But he dresses like a chicken for free. Yeah, no, I do not cross-dress for free on the live streams. I made $750 the last time I wore fake titties. So I can pay you $5,000 to get a Kel-Tec tat? Yeah, absolutely, assuming your money clears. Can't do it through PayPal because that shit can reverse. But if you want to Zelle me, I will get a Kel-Tec tattoo. I actually like Kel-Tec, though, so it won't be bothersome. I'm an e-whore. Yes, I'm a massive e-whore. I don't care where you tell me to get it. I'll get it wherever you tell me to. Even if it's on the PP, it just won't be mine. How long do you still have to have the tattoo for? What did we agree to? 2 years? And it's been 10 months? No, I will not get a forehead tattoo. The only two places on my physical body that I'm getting tattooed are my arms. So those are the only real estate available for tattoos. I like Kel-Tec, but it's a love-hate relationship. I've luckily had really good luck with every Kel-Tec I've owned. I don't know if just because even though I throw my shit and I'm abusive to my guns, I actually respect them. It's kind of like the difference between somebody that beats on a sports car and somebody that drives a sports car. I had a Mustang GT track pack with the short close ratio MT82, which is notorious for braking, and 420 horsepower. I got 150,000 miles out of my clutch and my original front brake discs because they were Brembos. So I drove the shit out of my Mustang. I never beat the shit out of my Mustang. There is no tattoos going on my chest, so $1 billion. The Caltech 5.7 pistol looks fun. Yeah, that's true. How much for BBC on the neck? Oh, you obviously haven't found my OnlyFans channel then. Just got our food. I want a refund! It's funny, my daughter hears you when I watch your lives and she shot my Glock and said you are right, it's junky. Thank you, Tommy John's kid. If you're still single, never mind. MT82 with no third gear lockout, I don't know if I believe it. So my MT82, I had the close ratio. Number one first gear was useless in mine, but over time my fifth gear synchro just kind of died in it. So remember old world class T5s, how they would second gear would go out? Fifth gear went out in my MT82. Sold! $1 billion coming my way, driving home soon. Sounds like you're at Buc-ee's, dude. Took 45 minutes for my dudes to go through the Buc-ee's. Took them 2 hours to drive down there. Cold frickin' sandwiches. What 45 ACP pistols come with the highest capacity? So, Para Ordnance 1445, 14 rounds. Glock 21s, they're what, 13 plus 1? The Rock Island, which is basically a Para. Gerson makes a 45 influence or Match X, so that one's available. 14 rounds. DB is right. The FNX tactical, the FNH or the 545 tacticals, they're 15 plus 1. Bass, what is up, dude? What's new on the wall? Taurus Polymer Public Defender, the Tisas PX9 Duty Comp, and a couple others. Here, let me show you guys. Also, I turned the light and didn't realize it was blowing everything out, and I've never turned it back. That's called professionalism. He has the isms. What happens when the wall gets full? It really can't, because it goes over to there, so I can probably get another 20 handguns there, and then I have more room and more pegboard, so it won't. But yeah, so that is the Tisas PX9 Duty with the comp barrel and the upgraded trigger and the magwell. It's a manwell. And that is the Tisas. So then we also have the Daria Arms with the Island comp barrel. You see the comps on it, the Island comp, and that's my original slide. Yeah. And then what else? I think that's it up there. This is what it's gonna look like when they. I don't care if it's washing out. You'll be fine. Look, they're whispering to each other. DB's a dick. Oh, hey. Be nice to DB. It's not his fault he was raised in Florida. So that is the Luke. That is the 2025 wall. So when it eventually fills up, then I will start the wall over. What's the revolver? Taurus Public Defender. Actually, I was not. Yeah, I know where you come from. That's even worse. You basically just went down the coast. It's too cold. It's too hurricaney. Didn't you live somewhere else too, like Mars? Luke Snowbird. Luke Snowbird. Is the judge for sale? Nope. Well, maybe. Call me at the store tomorrow. Mississippi, Tennessee, Colorado, Boston. Boston is not a state, and you fucked up. Alabama, Alaska, Miami, Fort Lauderdale. What's the most powerful handgun caliber you have fired? Smith & Wesson 500. Tampa. We just naming places in Florida. What about Tallahassee? You made a channel for the dog. What's the name again? A dog and a dude. I figured that would be better than a dude and a dog.
A dog and a dude.
No worry. Rocky looks like he is part German Shepherd. Absolutely, he is German Shepherd and American Staffordshire Terrier mix. Should have been Limo, Emo, and Joe. Nice. A Presa Canario. What does that mean? What does that mean? Oh. And he's at chill. Wow. I think it has halfway to do with the fact that he was probably mistreated most of his youth. So I'm one of those people that people can warm up to, animals especially, but I don't think his previous owners took care of him. I think they just left him in a kennel or a crate all day. It's FL dog breed. I wanted a Cane Corso. Mastiff from the Canary Islands. Thank you, Steven. You have the Italian Mastiff? Yeah, I was looking at a Mastiff, Mastiff Shepherd, Staffordshire Terrier mix, but he looked too pitty for my boss. I like the DY9 Island in the back. Thank you. How's it going, Daria? Just got it up on the wall tonight. I can't wait to take it to the range tomorrow. I hope it shoots as good as it looks. I also had to take the cool-ass gold barrel top off of the Daria in order to do that. You an email of car. Is there a lot of happy people in the car, or is this going to be a sad thing because the milkshake just spilled?
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours, bam, bam, it's better than yours, make that, so we have to go.
Please drive carefully, child on board. Let's see. World sticker with Mickey Mouse. Houston Oilers. You know, if you hit that car hard enough, he'll probably pay you no matter what you say. You think Rocky will go to the range one day? I don't know if I'll really want him to. I'm sure he'd be fine because loud machinery, fast cars, things like that don't even trigger him. But it's not really what I want to do with him. GIWI gun? Yep. It is, unfortunately. Mouse is now the proud owner of a Tavor. What triggers you, stupid motherfuckers? Dumbasses asking stupid shit. You see where it says honk if you're a silly goose? No, I didn't read that part. How'd I miss that? Oh, damn. That's literally the middle sticker. Well, we'll leave that one for Untitled. You inherited a Red Mountain Cur. You trained squirrel dog. Nice. Your meds are working. You're in a better mood. I am faking it like a mother father. I am going to bed when this is over and sleeping till morning. That's also a lie because my beautiful baby boy refuses to go to the bathroom more than once a goddamn day. So at 2:30 in the morning, I will be getting up to walk my dog. Then at 5:30, I will get up to walk my dog. And then at 6:30, we will go to the dog park where he will finally pee and poop. He dribbled a little bit today. He's breaking in. He's getting more comfortable. They say it's not unusual for a dog until they get used to their surroundings to not go to the bathroom. I don't know if it's old, but did you see the Ruger LCP Max now with the thumb safety? It has been around for a while, but yes, I have seen one. I was sleeping. My house ghost set off fire alarm. Nice. What's the best pistol that you have owned? I don't think I've owned it yet. I really like my Gerson Match X, but that's because I Frankenstein that thing into an amazing gun. I was majorly bummed out at the quality of my DWX, but I still like the way it runs. Coming to you from your local Applebee's, Lamau. I never liked listening to other people's BS, so I got you on headphones. Nice! I ran 3 mags through the LCP Max Sunday. She's a snappy bee-hotch. Get a threaded barrel for it and run a suppressor on it. That'll tame it. Fewer dumbasses. I used to live in North. I'm not reading that out loud. It's a Pocket 380. We'll get the small suppressor that's that long. You know about things that are that long. And I pocket carry a 5-inch 1911, bitch. Favorite gun you've shot overall? Man, that's a good question. I've shot so many goddamn guns. Probably the Tactical Sport Orange. It's basically the only gun I ever regret selling. Dude, if all your prison pocket takes is 5 inches, then you are brand new to that prison. Can you comp or add ports to an LCP? I mean, if you got a drill press, you can do whatever you want to whatever you want. McManus knows about things that long. Yeah, where the fuck has he been? When with the suppressor, do you have to worry about baffle strikes? Not unless you're running the wrong parts on it. So anything that has a tilting action to it needs what's called a Nielsen device, or it's a combination of the tilting action and the mass of the slide. So you basically a Nielsen device is a spring that counteracts the action that the gun is going through to help it run. Baffle strikes only happen if you have the wrong adapter on it, or if it's not made for the gun. Like if you're trying to maximize the round that you're sending through it. So my Osprey 9 is rated for 9mm, which is 359 or 357. There's variants, so I think 3 whatever. So I can run anything. I could run a 300 blackout if I want through it, but it would blow it out. But yeah, it wouldn't baffle strike. My action tilts. Yeah, you do. Where has he been? Where has he been? I think he finally found a woman that can tolerate his ass. So get that spring get worn out or need to be replaced. I don't see how on my gun. It's a super stiff spring, so it is a very large winding. It's not like an internal recoil spring. It's very, very stout. How do you carry? When I'm in the store, it's in a open carry holster because I want people to know that, yeah, you fuck around, I'm armed. But most of the time I carry in a leather inside the waistband holster. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that. Everybody congratulate Zaxxon and McManus for finally getting together and expressing their love for each other. 355 for 9mm. There you go. Sorry. Thank you. Although they give it some variants, I believe, just to make sure, because there's always variants, and there can be, depending on the manufacturer of the ammo. I think it's actually clearanced out to 359 on mine, so I'm shimmy stiff now. Oddly, only the tip. Can you imagine that? You could really mushroom stamp somebody then. I don't know, babe. This has never happened before. Is it worth paying more for the Bodyguard 2.0 comp? I don't know, and I don't think so. PewView did a video, and as an extreme shooter, he said he could feel the difference in the recoil, but he didn't think it felt. It didn't visually look like it recoiled less. Come on, DB. You know that'd be funny. Ask your girl what she thinks. I don't trust your opinion anyways. You're psychotic. You like turtles. Rainbow, happy Pride Month to the happy couple. McManus and Zaxxon. Getting some action. Wear shoes so you have traction. when getting that booty action. Would a centerfire 22 can work on a rimfire 22, or would it just be inefficient and dampening the sound? Suppressors are pressure rated more than they are caliber specific. So an AR-15 22 caliber, the hole is still the same size as it would be for a regular 22. It's just rated to take more pressure. If you had to pick one to carry, what would it be? 32, 38, or 38 special or 380? Probably 38 special because I could carry it in my Ruger GP100. Trying to score a damn night vision sponsor. That's expensive. Good luck with that. I asked Burris to send me their night stuff. They might. Top 3 favorite big 2A YouTube channels. Hot take, I don't like big channels. I'm okay with them, but I don't really religiously follow any of them. PewView is probably the biggest channel I still regularly watch. There's a guy weighing quarters with almost 400 viewers. Yeah, because it's not 2A. I'm pretty sure I could do a live stream with Rocky on Rocky's channel, and I would outstrip the viewership on this channel by 1,000,000,000%. 223 is anywhere from 53 to 58,000 psi, and 556 is anywhere from 58 to 65 or 67,000 psi. The difference is roughly 10,000 psi. I can tell you for a fact that 58,000 psi is 20,000 more than my Osprey is rated for. Does McManus have a binary trigger? I guess so. He has a 1 and a 0 if you look at his penis and his butthole. I want to get a 16-inch 22 long rifle for long-range shooting. Should I just get a 16-inch 5.56? That would be what would be the difference? Velocity, cartridge, cost, regulations. Yeah, so it's 2 totally different worlds, man. I don't even know, if you want to do competitive long-range shooting with 22, you're probably not going to be allowed to use an AR-15. Something inexpensive, Cody. If I can get $10,000 gun sent out to me, I should be able to get a night bus sponsor. Yeah, maybe. You want one rated for a higher pressure to be safe, or do you want to get it rated for as close as you can? I would get one that's rated higher, especially if you want to use multiple guns with one suppressor. That is rated only for pistols, so it can only be used on pistols. It can't even be used with the 5.7 because 5.7 is overpressure. I would recommend getting a larger can and just using adapters. I don't have fleas, I have ticks. Which weapon on the wall is best for anti-FBI intrusion, hypothetically? You can't see it, but there's a lawyer's card that's sitting on the desk next to me. My lawyer. Otherwise, you're going to wind up with the Ruby Ridge situation, and we will see you on a YouTube documentary in 4 years when they finally release the papers saying that you are anti-government. You hydrating, brother? Yeah, I had Gatorade today during the live. I love large cans. I actually don't like large cans. And as a person who has a very large set of cans, I'm not comfortable wearing them, so you need to treat women with big boobies better. You can just coat your can in Flex Seal and it will stand up to 50 BMG. Ha! If my can was circular, it would handle a lot more pressure than it does. But my gun has 2 thin screws holding my suppressor has 2 thin screws that hold the whole damn thing together. What do you think is the most effective self-defense caliber? Training. You could be the best trained person in the world and do more with the 22 long rifle than I can with a $5,000 Nighthawk Custom if you're got better training. The one knocking you down. Yeah, pretty much. Training for action. What do you think about the new 22 long rifle pistol you posted the other day? It uses some weird manufacturing techniques to make it feel more premium than it is. It still has a better finish than my Dan Wesson, but for example, the magazines are an extruded aluminum, or aluminium for my friends across the seas, to give it weight. The mags weigh almost as much as the slide. So it's interesting how they're doing that. I haven't gone 3 hours in a long time, so my voice is actually giving out. I get that with large cans. I have a Q-port chop for 8.6, but I'm a regular 8 AR-15. It looks absurd. Yeah, my thing about looking absurd is I don't care how stupid I look if it's functional. That's why when I wore the titties with the bikini and the cat suit, yeah, I was a grown-ass man wearing a cat suit and a bikini, but it was functional. That's on the internet forever. I don't care. I heard 9mm is too small. It bounces off things compared to a big, slow 45. I want to know what your thoughts are about knockdown power. Knockdown power is totally misrepresented in the world. Shoot somebody with the 22 and see what it does to them. 9mm does not bounce off of human flesh. Unless there's something seriously wrong with the gun you fired it out of. So just make sure that you have trigger discipline and aim. This burger is so good. If I didn't know you went to In-N-Out, I'd be wondering what you were talking about. Have you shot the flare cannon? No, I have not yet. What do you think of thermal sights for handguns in the near future? I'm waiting for Holosun to send me the DPS. They don't have any review samples, but they are sending me the 509 and the EPS full size. If you think his boobs look good, you should see his vajankle. No, a very select few people have ever seen the vajankle. I did get a 3-prong from Q to run it on 223. You're not wrong if it works. Yeah, exactly, dude. I'll put that son of a bitch. I'll put a 46M on a freaking Mark IV if it works. The smallest caliber you feel conflicted carrying 380. Again, depends on the situation you're going into. I'm a gun guy, not a caliber guy. I know that's weird. I started in guns so much later than everybody else that I'm not that guy. I mean, I hate Glock, but I just hate their company and the fact that their shit is boring. But when it comes to rounds, if all I have is a Kel-Tec P17 and it's loaded with Federal Punch ammo, I will happily carry that in a battle for self-defense. You shoot somebody with 22 7 times in the head, they might actually drop. Some dude wrapping a watermelon with rubber bands has over 5,000 viewers. Yeah. What are your thoughts on them Fold 22 long rifles that are 22? Those are just single-use, extreme silliness, in my opinion. DB, I picked the wrong genre to be in, dude. I used to get 30 to 50,000 views on car videos when I had under 1,000 subs. So, yeah, if I had sticked with cars, I wouldn't know most of you, and I would probably be a millionaire. They're a giant cannon that shoots 9mm. I mean, if you pour a bunch of 9mm into the muzzle of the cannon, sure. Is it crazy that I love the PSA Rock? No, I will say this with no irony, no weirdness. I think the Rock 5.7 is the best 5.7 available. As long as you understand how guns work and you can fix any issues that come up. Do I prefer irons or dots for carry? It doesn't really matter to me. Whatever gun I'm carrying, like right now I'm using a Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911 with irons only, so that's what I carry. But when I carry the X5 Legion, it has an optics on it. When I carry the DWX in the store, you can see it's got a fucking mailbox on it. So whatever's on the gun I'm carrying, as long as I have a good holster for it, I'll carry it. Start doing videos eating weird stuff. You guys stopped paying me to do stupid shit, so no. Did Rocky make the live stream today? He did, Mexican. 226X5? No, my 320X5. I don't have the 22X5 because I sold my 226 stainless Elite to Stone and I was going to buy the X5 and then I saw something shiny. What are your opinion on single action revolvers? I like them. Rocky! Come here, buddy. My Mexican friend wants to say hi. Dude, he does not want to get up. He's tuckered. I bought the fish, but you wouldn't eat it. Dude, that fish went rancid, dude. I happen to get the only can that ever went bad. You got to run. Yeah, I'm probably going to go too. He's tuckered out. I want to walk him before he goes to bed. just in case he wants to pee. So we'll finish up here in a couple minutes. What's the next deal you're looking for? The P320 Reserve. It costs the same as the DWX, but it looks amazing. Honest Outlaw was doing 200-yard shots with the 226X5. The 226X5 has a high bore-over axis, but the gun is just so damn nice that it's easy to hit long distance. That fish looked nasty. That fish looked like a corpse because it was. But it looked like a real corpse because it was. DB, you have a good night, you weirdo. Just remember, in the morning, I'm not getting into a Camry. Rocky, come here, buddy. Come here, bud. He's coming. Give him a second. Come here, buddy. Come here. Come up here. Come on. Up here. Come here. Whoop. Yeah, he is much too tired for the internet right now. Come here. Come here. Yeah. He does not want to sit up. Sorry. So, who's my buddy? You want to go outside? You want to go potty? All right, give me just a few minutes, okay? I'll go potty. And no, I don't talk to him like a child. Good boy. You can go. It's okay. I promise. We'll go outside in a few minutes. I feel bad because I keep calling him over. What's the big deal about a Sand Viper? Extreme accuracy, great triggers, things like that. Would a single action revolver or a DASA revolver be good for self-defense? Absolutely. Any gun that you train with will be good for self-defense. Thanks for another great live. I still think I smell that fish in Ohio. Oh, dude, they left the can it was in outside for like a week. Current 320 shite is what? I've heard of gunshots, ranges, and police departments dumping them. They are banned from a lot of classes, but that only the guns affected are the standard curved trigger guns. Unfortunately, that's a lot of them. So the X5 with the flat face trigger, the X Full, the Spectre comps, the blackouts, anyone with the flat face trigger is usually immune from the issue because they have a much different trigger setup. The springs are different. But yeah, a lot of them are getting dumped out into the market. I would not be surprised if the U.S. military starts another trial for a replacement gun in the next 5 years. You should buy a billboard to deal with the shadow ban. No, that would be fun. So I'm not making any money, so I'll take money I don't have and buy a billboard. It's been fun tonight. Till next time. All right, Chanson. Thank you guys. Hey, everybody, go over to Chanson's channel and check him out. He does much longer live streams than I do anymore. I used to do 6-hour ones. I can't do that anymore, but my man does a long live stream. Epilepsy warning. He has a lot of flashing lights, so if you suffer from seizures, you might want to consider it. Just saying. But he's a cool-ass dude, so go over there and sign up to him. He's going to grow. Someday he's going to pass me up because he's much more into the sponsor game than I am. I reach out to the super high-end guys, and I wait for them to call me back. Would you feel confident with the revolver when everyone else is using a semi-automatic gun? I use a 1911 that carries 8+1, so I have 9 rounds. If I'm carrying a 357, like my GP100 with 6 rounds, 7 rounds, I'm fine. Still kind of want a 320. Get one, dude. They're cheaper now because of the whole situation. Yeah, Chanson's channel is dope. Yep, I can see Marines hammering tent stakes with their Glocks. Probably. Aramax, you have a good one. I didn't know I walked into an ammunitions. You betcha, buddy. Mrs. Mouse won't let me have even one sip of the milkshake. Swerve! Swerve hard! It'll go all over. Thanks, Joe and Cody. Also Stone. Stone didn't do shit. Shut up. Just kidding. Yeah, get Chanson up there, man. He deserves to be heard in the 2A community as well. See, even though you mispronounced it, I'm still calling you out, bruh. Also, he calls me out when he's on live. My doggo needs to go out. So, guys, I'm going to give you one more walkthrough, and then we're going to call it a night. So, hold on. Chanson's good people. He's all right. We've been at home for a while. Kick the couch. So, let's just run them over. So, Night Stalker. Fusion Firearms XF Pro with the Osprey 9 suppressor. Rock Island 5.0. That optic is coming off and going on there tonight. So, I have that optic for tomorrow. DWX with the Burst Fast Fire. The Bloop Tube. The Chronicle 1911. Fusion Firearms XP Pro that I did some monkeying around with to the grip to make it more my style. The Tisas Duty BR9 double stack. The PX9 Comp. The Daria Arms with the Island Barrel. The Taurus Polymer Judge, also known as a Public Defender. We get it. You're bored. The Arex Rex 10 or Rex 01 Tactical, the Rete RXP 22, and the Gerson Regard Sport 4. So yeah, those are all we got there. So takes longer to go through an outline than it does to drive there and back. Yep. If it's German, hit it with a Sherman. I'm not hitting my dog with a Sherman. That XP Pro looks pretty good. Yeah, I like what I did to it. I'm using, so I silicone carbided it, and I'm running grip tape on it. So it's double grippy. So, all right, guys, I'm going to hit the X button. I'm going to get out of here. We'll talk to you guys next time. So come back Wednesday for more. All right? Yay! 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 All right, kids, I'm outie. Cody, have a great one, man. Ready to go outside, buddy?